Hello everyone, welcome in Void. I hope you have a good look. So today, I did not think I would be able to stream. I got my dates very mixed up, and I thought yesterday was Thursday. And then sometime last night I realized, wait a minute, no, that's today is Thursday. And so, yeah, we can stream today. So we're gonna do the End of the Inherited Turnabout, which I was not expecting to do today. But yeah, we're gonna finish this off. It's a bit earlier than usual. It's 6:30 right now that we're streaming. But yeah, let's just get diddly started. I don't think I'm forgetting anything. Probably not. Who knows? Not I. Yeah, Spinny Baka. We have Ray. He was intended to be there last stream, but I did not realize this was going to be a three stream case. But yeah, let's get started.
And that's all Uncle Ray knows about the IS-7 incident. So, that's what happened in my father's last case. The truth of the IS-7 incident.
What happened at the trial? Also, I'm feeling a lot more energetic today. Last stream, I was a bit weak, I was a bit tired, I was a bit groggy. You probably realized. But I'm feeling a lot better today, so this stream should hopefully go better.
In the end, Von Karma defeated us.
Eh? So, you couldn't prove Mr. Master's innocence?
We had gathered plenty of evidence to prove it. But Von Karma was even more despicable than we'd thought. Despicable Me, in fact.
Also, I watched Despicable Me last night just so that I'd have all the references. It was actually a lot better than I thought it was gonna be. It was actually... I'd say it was good. Yeah, good. Yeah.
He was a prosecutor who would do anything for his guilty verdict. That's right, and he really did use any means necessary. He also said in court, the end justifies the means. He said that one will be funny in a few years. After the 7-year age gap, in fact. What 7-year age gap? Don't worry about it. Because of this, the trial dragged on for about a year, until it finally reached a conclusion. I'll never forget that fateful day, when the judgment was passed down, the 28th of December. It's April now, so it's been a little over 17 years. How time flies. The 28th of December, 17 years ago. I was watching from the gallery that day. DL6.
Oh golly.
Before the trial, your old man noticed that Mr. Master was acting strangely. He was at the breaking point, both mentally and physically. He wanted to be found guilty.
No, Mr. Master didn't fake a confession, did he?
Yeah, that was what Von Karma was aiming for from the start. Yo, what's up? When your old man tried to expose the fact that the body had not been found, Von Karma used the power of his police cronies to quash that argument. He even went as far as to prepare a fake autopsy report. Then, they made Mr. Master give a false testimony and confess to being an accomplice. With Mr. Master's confession, the situation quickly became dire. But, your old man had a trump card up his sleeve. Yo, what up? Was that the trump card he was talking to Detective Bat about? Yeah, that trump card was to be our insurance in case Mr. Master confessed. We'd asked Detective Bat to have Mr. Master's interrogation recorded.
Detective Bad wanted to know the truth too, huh?
After he was dropped from the investigation, he never stopped caring about the case.
What? Yeah, he did.
He was like, I don't give a shit anymore, Yadagarasu time. Even when he was involved with other large cases, he really was the definition of a true detective. The defense presented the recording, which proved that the confession was forced. Well, it seems the detective in charge of the initial investigation and interrogation, Rip Lacer, took all of the blame and was charged and dismissed. Still, at the trial, your old man exposed Von Karma's corruption and Von Karma received his first penalty from the then chief prosecutor. The only penalty in his 40 years of prosecution. And it was not Lana Sky. However, Mr. Master didn't want the trial to continue any longer, and the curtains closed on the trial that day with the verdict of guilty. My memory of that time is fuzzy, but I was also there watching my father's final trial.
You've said this like 3 times, Edgeworth, we get it. You're watching your father's trial.
And I think his final regret became my own. The old man wanted a retrial to prove Master's innocence, but he passed on before he could fulfill his wish, after getting entangled in another case. It breaks my heart even now that I didn't return home with him that day, and what's more, to blind myself from my own worthlessness. Uncle Ray put all of his hatred on you, as a traitor for being Von Karma's pupil. This is really heavy to start the stream, Jesus. I'm sorry. Don't be. It's natural you would hate me, because I'm British. Gregory always hated the British, didn't he? My father. And then Von Karma. He corrupted me, and made me British. It's understandable that you hate me so, Raymond. After I became a prosecutor, I was able to get Von Karma to show me the case file. Mr. Master was found guilty for the murder of Isaac Dover. That's not right. Wasn't Mr. Master found guilty of being an accomplice? But this case file says guilty of murder. There shouldn't be anything unresolved in the cases handled by Manfred Von Karma. Wait, can I take a look at that file? It looks like the charges have been rewritten. Oh! Look at this.
Jeffrey Master 39, creator of the dessert contest. The victim's body was found inside a dessert made by the suspect. This led to his arrest. Angelo was diagnosed with hypogeusia, and he was treated by medicine. After his own confession, he was convicted as an accomplice to the murder.
The charges. Accomplice to murder. This is a copy of the original case file I received from the courts. Why would the charge be altered? This file was given to you by Von Karma, right? Maybe he just didn't want you to know the truth, since you're Gregory's son. He would have wanted to avoid another retrial before the statute of limitations ran out after all. So what I'd come to believe back then had all been a lie. If you didn't know about it, just make sure you know it from now on. The statute of limitations is long expired, but the truth still sleeps, right here. After your old man passed away, Uncle Ray took over as Mr. Master's defense attorney. Although Von Karma also had another prosecutor take over the case. Perhaps he thought that since his opponent was a rookie, he didn't even need to turn up. In the end, the real killer was never found, and Mr. Master was found guilty.
No. Is there nothing we can do even now?
Since the killer was never found, he can't withdraw his confession. I found out after the trial that Mr. Master made a deal with Von Karma because Von Karma had threatened him. If you don't confess, Catherine Hall will be held under the same charges.
That's terrible.
I don't think Mr. Master really thought that Kate was the killer, but to protect her, he faked a confession. Miles, on the day that Knightley Boy was killed, why do you think Uncle Ray was at the prison?
Ah, I see.
You went to see Mr. Master, didn't you? I said I'd visit him every day. I couldn't keep that promise, but I asked Katie Pie to look in on him for me when I couldn't. Through rain or snow she went, every single day without fail. But nothing's changed, and Mr. Master still serves his punishment.
That's so sad. Isn't there anything we can do? No, not Ray. Welcome in, Derza. Jeff Master's actually dead now, though, believe me.
That's why I came here. Because I knew those ice sculptures would be on display here today. So, what are you gonna do, Miles? I'm a prosecutor. My position is different from you and my father. Miles. But, moving past my position, what I want as Miles Edgeworth is to know the truth of these two cases, It is for that reason that I'm here.
Is he sussy? What am I saying? He's always sussy? What, Ray? Yeah, Ray's always a little bit sussy.
You really are your father's son. Well then, if that's what you've decided, I'll support you all the way. I'd better leave the IS-7 documents and evidence with you then. Alright, here are the documents. By the way, the parts in orange are Uncle Ray's old notes. Thank you.
Time of death. Yeah. Crime scene, Jeffrey Master's room, murder weapon, rocks at lamp, prosecuted man from uncommon defense attorney, Gregory. Statute of limitations ran out on Christmas Eve 3 years ago. Jeffrey Master, creator of the dessert contest. The victim, suspect data, okay. Jeffrey Master, creator of the dessert contest. The victim's body was found inside a dessert made by the suspect. This led to his arrest. In jail, he was diagnosed with hypoglycemia and was treated by medicine. After his own confession, he was convicted as an accomplice to the murder. Victim data. Isaac Dover, his true identity is the famous French sculptor Pierre Hoquet. He entered the contest as a cake designer, but his body was found in the defense room. The cause of death was blunt trauma to the head. Because the victim's body vanished, there appears to be no autopsy report. Is that the true reason? And then just the body.
Thank you. And now, here's the IS-7 evidence.
Oh, we getting all the evidence?
There's a lot, so make sure to look it over while you investigate. Why the fuck do you have all of this? What the fuck? Mr. Shields, did you steal this from the fucking detention center? Not the detention center, but the fucking police station? What, how do you have this? Right. I'll check through it later.
I want to check through it now, that's why I clicked it. That isn't... We didn't get that much.
It's a lot of evidence, okay? So much. Just don't check, because it's not that much.
Anyway, there are so many strange things about this case.
Indeed. Those involved in the case 18 years ago were reunited, and another incident occurs. Replicas of the statues from 18 years ago were displayed in the Winter Palace, and poison gas was released in the Autumn Palace, which had been disguised as the Winter Palace. The two chemicals in the Pisces case.
Also, so... someone said something about... I think it was Delicious said something about... It looks so much like Icy's room, talking about the Autumn Palace. This one was Isaac's room. This one was... So this should be the Winter Palace if that is supposed to be Isaac Dover's room. So I think they literally just... They swapped on the pamphlets and just made the Autumn Palace look like the Winter Palace. So that the actual Winter Palace, aka the Autumn Palace written here... thingy. Gustavio would go there. And then... get poisoned. I think Catherine did it.
The two chemicals in the Pisces case, normalium and fatalium, were mixed, causing an outbreak of poison gas.
Oh dude, this is totally wicked!
The victim of the poison gas was Dane Gustavia, a person involved in the IS-7 incident. Because he was unconscious, he received treatment in the Zodiac Art Gallery's infirmary. Finally, the dead body found floating in the fountain. And once again, the ice sculptures have melted.
Do we know whose body that is, by the way? I assumed it was Pierre Hoquet because I thought that the fountain... I thought it was found during Gregory's bit last stream, because I was silly. Do we know whose body that is? Aged dead, thank you. Look at him. Sebby, self-proclaimed best. That's because he is the best, okay? That's because he is the best. I'm not reading all that.
There are deep connections between the two cases. It's possible there are still some clues left from 18 years ago.
Right, let's get started. Hi, Sebby. Just 1 second. Don't tell me you've forgotten about me. Didn't I tell you that I'm the one in charge of this case? Prosecutor Edgeworth, if you intend to continue disrupting Sebastian's investigation, the word guilty will be added to your PIC report.
The woke PIC! What does she mean, guilty? Please allow me to assist in your investigation as before.
I appreciate your proposal, but I'm afraid I must overrule it. That was fast. even though we're short on hands to identify the victim right now. It's only a matter of time until we figure it out. Okay, so we don't know who this victim is. Yet.
In that case, I shall take that load off your shoulders at once. Regarding the identity of the unidentified body, one person comes to mind.
So we do know it's Pierre, okay. Getting a bit confusing. We know who it is. Edgeworth knows who it is. We're about to say. Really? Then tell us.
Very well. It's not just the sculptures that have made a comeback from the incident 18 years ago. The body in the fountain is Kay Faraday, Dick Gumshoe, Jeff Master. Funny answer. It's likely that the identity of the body is the victim of the murder that occurred here 18 years ago. Isaac Dover.
Eh? It's Icy's body? Hey, who's that? I've never heard of him. Mr. Isaac Dover, a truly great sculptor. Sorry, sculptor. He wasn't a sculptor, he was a sculptor. But he was better known as Pierre Hoquet. The sculptures on display here in the museum are all his creations. Ah, so in other words, that sculptor was the best. Somehow I feel a strong kinship to him. And he was the victim in the IS-7 incident.
Oh, I didn't know this. She knew about the IS-7 incident.
Prosecutor Edgeworth, the IS-7 incident occurred 18 years ago. And what's more, the police reported the removal of the body.
That's what's on the record. But I wonder if that really is the truth.
What are you saying?
The defense attorney in the IS-7 incident claimed that the body was never found. Not that the prosecution would ever admit to such a thing.
You what up? Hello? Really? Is something wrong, Sebastian? No, it's just, they said that they know who the victim is. It's just as that prosecutor says. It's Dover. No, it can't be.
It would seem my father's suspicions were correct. What is it, Judge Courtney? What's the matter, Judge Courtney? Cat got your tongue? Have you finally realized that I'm much more helpful than Mr. DeBest?
Hey, you! Are you trying to steal the best position for yourself?
I'm doing no such thing. I just want to know the truth. And for that to happen, we need to cooperate. No?
The truth is none of your concern.
Objection!
I don't think that's true, Courtney Pie.
I don't like you.
Uncle Ray assisted the defense attorney involved in the IS-7 incident, the one who claimed that Mr. Dover's body was never found. The prosecution denied it at the time, but now the body's been discovered here. In other words, the IS-7 investigation was unjust. And isn't it the duty of the PIC to investigate corrupt prosecutors? Then wouldn't you want to cooperate with those who were involved in the case? Unless you have an ulterior motive. Now that I think about it, Judge Courtney knew about the IS-7 incident, so it would seem she really is here because of the PIC.
Even if you're related to the incident, I don't see how Prosecutor Edgeworth is.
Hold it. He's the son of the attorney in that case, and a prosecutor taught by Von Karma himself. And what's more, he was in the audience at the I-7 trial. I'm sure there are many points he can enlighten us on.
Very well. I will allow you to cooperate. However, your investigation must not hinder the other investigators. The Winter Palace is currently being investigated, but the fountain patio is open to you.
That's my Courtney Pie. Now we're talking. Yes, thanks. I'll allow you to have a hug with Uncle Ray.
I don't like you. Overruled. If I feel your cooperation isn't needed, I will have to ask you to leave.
Understood. Isn't that great, Miles? Now we can start investigating. You really helped us there. Uncle Ray did it all for himself. Alright, Uncle Ray's gonna investigate too. So let me know if you figure something out. Got it. Right then. Okay, let's begin the investigation.
Okay, let's do this.
We still don't know where Mr. Dover's body and the Normalium were hidden.
We don't have enough information to go on.
You're right. Our first priority is the normalium.
Well, normalium's used in washing detergents, paints, and the like.
If I recall, it's a red liquid with a minty aroma.
Well then, let's get looking for that normalium.
It appears the body's already been recovered by the police.
Why was the body of the victim from 18 years ago found floating in the fountain? I mean, wouldn't the body have gone all goopy after 18 years?
I don't know if I would call it goopy. It certainly would have required a special method to preserve the body.
Yeah, I wonder if such a method even exists. Hey, Mr. Forensic Guy, any new information?
Yes! Normalium and fatalium have been detected in the fountain water.
They must have flowed through the stream, from the Autumn Palace to the fountain.
Aside from the chemicals, we also found high levels of sugar. We're working hard on investigating it. Sugar in the fountain water? What could have caused that?
Hi Ray, what are you looking at?
This lift trolley has just been left here.
I wonder if it was used recently to carry something heavy.
The surface of the platform appears to be wet.
It's the body. The body was carried.
I remember seeing this lift trolley someplace before.
You mean during the I-7 incident?
Ah, that's right, I remember now. It was in Dover's room. If I remember correctly, it was used to transport the ice sculptures.
Dover's body was hidden in one of the ice sculptures and then it was carried into the fountain.
The lift trolley has a feature that allows you to adjust the height and angle of the platform. With just one of these, a single person could move the sculptures all by themselves.
Wow, how convenient. I want one too.
Why is there a lift trolley here? I guess that's something we'll need to think about. Yes, it could be related to the case.
Oh, another one.
On this service card, Miss Hall has prepared her tea set.
So Catherine just put a towel over one of the ice sculptures, had him frozen in ice, put a towel over it, and just went about acting like it was just a normal table. According to the pamphlet, the museum's also famous for its tea.
Yes, it certainly had a flavorful, rich taste.
It seems this tea set was also made by Mr. Dover.
Oh, so the tea set was made by the victim. Let's take a closer look. There's not a single stain on this pure white tablecloth.
Take hold of the edge and focus your mind. Then in one go, pull!
Okay, I hope you're not planning to do anything bad.
No, don't worry. Even if I fail, the tablecloth would just be dyed nice black a la tea.
The tablecloth looks better white. Please refrain from changing it.
I wonder about that. It might look better in another color. Like pink or blue. Or tea. Nice.
So, this tea set was made by Isaac Dover.
Fancy stuff, huh?
Okay, I'd say this tea set is worth thousands of dollars. Please be careful with it.
Eh? This tea set such treasure?
Please don't look so excited. If I recall correctly, Ms. Hall was a huge fan of Mr. Dover.
Hey, Edgy!
What is it?
Be careful with that teapot!
Why must I be warned by him of all people?
Catherine, you saucy little baka. Madame and Monsieurs. Would you care for some tea?
Miss Hall?
Katie! No, I'm fine, thanks. And Edgy, you guys can have some. Kay and Edgy.
Well, since you asked, we might as well take a short break.
What's that? That's like a stain. Certainly. Doom, do, do. Is Catherine gonna spill some, and it's just not supposed to be there yet? Thanks for the tea. Wow, it's so tasty. Oh no. Da 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 da. Granddad! What kind of tea is this, Miss Redworth?
It's Ceylon tea, known for its citrus aroma.
minty aroma?
However, Miss Hall, is this the same tea you served us this morning?
Yes, that's right. Was it not to your liking?
No, it's not that. The tea we had this morning had a slightly different aroma. Like minty?
How strange. It is the same Ceylon tea I served this morning. There shouldn't be anything different about it.
Well, what's wrong with you, Edgy? Quit nitpicking about the tea Katie so kindly prepared for you.
Larry, what are you getting so upset about?
I'm not upset. You're just being a rude jerk. And I told you to call me Reese. Sheesh, I'm not going to talk to you anymore.
It's like arguing with a child.
Larice, I wonder what's wrong.
I'd like to ask him that later myself. And I also need to speak with Miss Hall. I don't have any evidence that shows she's the culprit, but I dare say she's the one who set up the poison gas trap. This smell and this color. Don't tell me this is a puddle of tea.
Huh? Ooh, look. There's a piece of pottery in the middle of the puddle.
Design looks familiar.
Thanks. So she dropped some tea. I wonder what broke.
Gee, I fucking wonder. I think I recognize the design. I should probably show this to that man and see what he has to say.
Who the fuck is that man? Are you talking about Ray? I don't fucking know. Who are you talking about?
Miles, how's the investigation going? Well, little by little, I'm beginning to see the entire truth behind this case. Oh, that's good to hear. Uncle Ray better not fall behind either. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da, I'm a prosecutor. I never would have imagined that you'd end up becoming a prosecutor. I'm sorry. No, I'm not blaming you. You have your own reasons behind it as well, right? But standing in the courtroom as a prosecutor isn't the same as doing it as a defense attorney. It's something I would like you to experience just once. As a defense attorney, I have. There was actually a time when I stood in the courtroom as a defense attorney. It definitely didn't feel bad at all.
Anyway, for some reason I have to show this to you instead of just putting it together myself.
Ah, haha, this, eh? This evidence holds the so-called key to the case, right? It's possible. Yep, then hold on to it closely. Hurry, put it away.
What? What the fuck? Who is that man? Who the fuck is that man?
I have to show it to that man.
Sebastian? Are you that man?
Mr. DeBest, you're getting a bit in my way if you stand here.
I'm not going to move. Just do what you can over there. Don't say that. It's probably the best if you just stand over there. The best, you say? Okay, I'll go stand over there.
So anything is fine as long as you add the best to it.
What, Larry? Who the fuck is that man? I can just piece this together myself. I already know.
Larry, tell me what you're hiding.
He dropped it.
I have to show it to that man. He dropped it.
You two, stop glaring at each other like that.
I'm not glaring, Kate. I'm using my artist's perspective. Edgy's the one who's glaring.
Then if you know what's good for you, you will tell me what you're hiding right now.
No way, dude. Didn't I say that I'm not talking to you anymore?
Aren't you talking to me right now?
From now on, I'm definitely not talking to you anymore.
I'm not going to get anywhere like this. Looks like I'll have to force it out of him. Larry, take a look at this.
What's that?
Larry, I've got a feeling that what you're hiding is related to the tea in this pottery shard. Well, if you're not going to talk to me, I can always hand this shard over to Judge Courtney.
Wait, I'm trying to keep a clean image for Justy. I don't want her to see how I've dirtied myself.
Aren't you dating someone? I can't imagine what part of you can be considered clean, but if you don't want it to declare you guilty, I suggest you speak truthfully now.
I got it, I'll tell you.
Larry, it's time you confess to what you've done.
How can you be so cruel to your best friend?
The same way you can be so dishonest to your best friend.
Well, you can stop glaring at me. I promise to tell the truth this time for sure. I just thought I'd pour Justy some tea, but my hand kinda slipped a bit, and it broke. I accidentally broke the crazy expensive teapot.
The butt strikes again. Why am I not surprised?
Oh boy, you've really done it this time, Larice.
What should I do, Angie? Katie will hate me.
Crying to me about it won't solve anything. First, you should apologize to Miss Hall.
Oh my god. Is that so? My teapot was...
Katie, I'm so sorry. I don't have any money, but I'll draw as many portraits of you as you like.
Please kindly raise your head, Monsieur. It is I who should apologize. I didn't notice the broken shards. It's dangerous, so I'll tidy up the broken pieces. Allow me to take this piece from you as well.
Wasn't this tea set one of Isaac Dover's works? I heard that it was very important to you.
Yes, but there's no use crying over spilled tea. Besides, I still have another one of those teapots left.
Is she not as attached to Dover's works as she used to be?
Katie, you're so kind. Oh, that other teapot you were talking about, is it the one in that card?
Yes, yes?
Truth is, when I was trying to hide the broken shards, I looked under that card. And I found a teapot that looked exactly the same, so I switched them.
Really?
Yeah, everything's cool now. I took great care to make sure no one would break that pot.
Hugh, don't brag about that when you were the one who broke it in the first place.
I'm sorry.
I don't mind. Thank you for your consideration.
Gee, Katie's a really nice lady, isn't she?
You should reflect on how you cause trouble for people like her.
Okay, when I make it big as an artist, I'll donate paintings. In fact, I'll even welcome you as my own personal model.
I think it'd be better if you just stopped causing trouble. I hope you haven't done anything else.
I haven't, I just stood around sketching beauties.
Sketching beauties?
If you're interested, I can let you take a peek.
I guess even Mr. Edgeworth is interested in beauties.
It's not like that. I just thought it might be another one of his strange paintings.
Is this? I think I know this one.
How dare you, I'm very confident in my work this time.
Ew, I want to see too.
Oh, I'm glad you're so honest about it, Kay. I'll get it ready, so come check it out later.
I guess I'll have him show it to me later.
Logic time. See ya, bitch.
Maybe the reason why the Ceylon tea smelled different was because the pots had been switched.
Eh? Really?
You fucking dumbass. Sorry. The taste of the tea itself did not actually change after all. Let's go ask Miss Hall about it in more detail. Miss Hall, was the reason why the Ceylon tea smelled different because the pots were switched?
Yes. That's certainly possible.
It had a fresh minty aroma.
Now we know that it's minty. There we go.
Not unlike that of uva tea.
Ah, I remember now. I prepared some mint tea yesterday. I'm sure that the aroma just happened to remain in the teapot.
Is that really all there is to it? A minty aroma is emanating from the pot Larry had replaced.
Miss Hall said the aroma was left over from the mint tea she prepared yesterday.
Indeed. She seemed less surprised to find out that Larry broke the teapot, and more surprised by the fact that the pots had been switched.
That's right. Normally it would have been the reverse. Her broken teapot's much more shocking.
She was probably trying to hide this teapot.
Hide the pot?
One of the characteristics of normalium is a minty aroma. There's a possibility that she was hiding normalium inside this teapot.
What? Inside the pot?
It is only a possibility for now, but it's one worth investigating. Mr. De Best, I assume you haven't found the normalium yet.
Huh? Oh. I've had the entire art museum searched, but I haven't received any reports yet. And what about you? Don't you have any ideas?
Only one.
I knew it! Nobody but me will be able to find it. Oh, wait, what? You have an idea where it is?
Indeed.
Then tell me.
It may have been in this teapot that Miss Hall had used.
Oh, this teapot is pretty nice. It would make the perfect present for the best prosecutor.
It's not a present. It's an important piece of evidence.
Oh, it's just evidence. Then, I guess I'll have forensics take a look at it. Monsieur Edgeworth, is there something wrong with the teapot I used?
This teapot has a minty aroma to it. It's the same aroma as one of the 2 chemicals used to create the poison gas.
Monsieur Edgeworth, surely you don't mean... You suspect me of having set off the poison gas?
I do. Setting up the poison gas trap in the Autumn Palace would have required some preparation. As the curator of this museum, you're the only one who could have prepared it in advance.
I wonder about that. Preparations for the opening of the museum took about a week, and I received help from both outsiders and Madame Delicia. I think there are people besides me who are also suspicious.
Of course, Delicia's also under scrutiny.
Furthermore, I don't even know how to create something like poison gas, even if you found normalium in my teapot. There's no way I could have prepared the poison gas. Well then, I look forward to hearing the analysis results of the teapot.
Her excuse is that she doesn't know how to prepare the poison gas. I must find a way to shatter that excuse. This is Edgeworth. It's Gumshoe, sir. Did something happen? Actually, right now all the investigators but me have left the Winter Palace, so I can finally tell you what we found. It's not good for a detective to be leaking out information about the investigation, but his resourcefulness has saved me many times these past few days. All the sculptures in the Winter Palace have melted. There's still some liquid left in the cases, but there's less in the Gemini case than in the Taurus case. There's still liquid in the glass cases? Yes, sir. We just investigated the light blue liquid a moment ago. We only detected sugar in the Taurus case, but for some reason, in the Gemini case, we detected 3 different substances. 3 substances? They consisted of sugar, salt, and blood.
So yeah, it was hidden in the Gemini case. That's why they were drawing so much attention to Gemini.
Blood? Blood and salt were detected in the Gemini case. I wonder whose blood it could have been. I've asked forensics to look into it, sir. Right, I'll leave it to you, detective. That reminds me, the forensics investigating the fountain patio contacted me. It seems the sugar found in the fountain matches that found in the light blue liquid.
Oh, that sounds like valuable information. Analysis results... yeah.
Is that all the new information you have for me? Oh, now that you mention it, we found a rainbow light device in there too.
The device was used to disguise the Autumn Palace.
It seems the device that was used in the I-7 incident is also connected to this one. I should listen to what Delicia has to say about that. I have to go back to investigating now, sir.
It's so refreshing to play a game that isn't anything in the trilogy, because they let you know, like, hey, gotta talk to Delicia now, you know, oh, hey, you gotta talk to, even though they said, like, that man, you know, there's only, like, three men, so, like, you know, you can deduce it pretty easily. Like, even though sometimes it's a little, you have to do more than you probably should have to do, it's still very handy to know what to do, you know? Whereas with the trilogy, half of it is just wandering around blindly until you find the place you're supposed to be.
I have to go back to investigating now, sir. When we get the results of the blood test, I'll let you know right away. Yes, thank you, detective.
Was that Gummy calling? That sure was a long call.
But thanks to him, we now have an important piece of information. In order to break Miss Hall's alibi, I'll need to talk to everyone involved in the I-7 incident.
Alright, so let's talk to Delicia first about the, light device.
Delicia, would you be willing to aid in the investigation?
Yeah, see, of course. Anything for Miley and Kayfae. I'll listen to whatever you have to say.
She's not, no, she's not related to Maya. No, she's a different person. I was wondering if you could stop calling me Miley.
And stop calling me Kayfae. Why, that's out of the question. I can't just change a name I've already decided on. Even if we ask her, she won't listen to what we have to say at all. Do we have the... We don't have the rainbow light device. I was wondering if I could present that. Let's present the cloth, though. This cloth is made from some pretty expensive materials. It's hard to come by, you know. The technology's amazing. How's it made? Yeah, see, if you're interested, I'll share my secret information with you. So it was developed by Blue Screens Inc., huh?
Lisa, no.
I've got to steal that tech. I'll aim to be the shining star in the world of thieves.
Could you please let me talk to her as well?
Alright, I don't think we have to present anything. Let's just talk.
Do you know anything about the decorations that are used in this museum? Specifically, the fluorescent cloths and a special device called a rainbow light device.
Yeah, see, of course I do. Because they're presents that I gave to Katie. As an apology for breaking the rules 18 years ago, I gave her 4 new rock salt lamps and the 4 fluorescent cloths I used in the contest. Wow, that sounds nice. Fluorescent cloths and rock salt lamps. Seems like only us girls can understand how wonderful they are.
Stop gendering lamps. That's a cruel thing to say, Miss Delicious. I like them too, you know.
Bye, that was back when Ray Ray was still a cute little boy. Back when Mr. Shields was a cute little boy? I can't even imagine it.
Are they the same decorations you saw 18 years ago? Probably. The rock salt lamp, the cloth, and the rainbow light device. They all seem the same. 4 fluorescent cloths were used in the Autumn Palace. But I have the feeling I saw one more of the same cloth.
Yeah, no shit. It's true. Look, I've got the proof right here in my bag.
Yeah, we all remember it, Edgeworth. What is she searching for?
Not this. Not this either.
I remember seeing cloth like that recently. Let's show Delicious. Cloth, again. Wasn't there a dirty rag in your bag that looked similar to this?
Bye, I'm not going to give you any information to someone who calls it a dirty rag.
Then, would it be better if I called it a washcloth?
Bye, wrong again. It's a fluorescent cloth. Oopsie. That was supposed to be a secret.
Please tell me all you know about this fluorescent cloth.
Fuck. I thought it was still on the evidence menu, so I backed out.
I'd like to ask you something, since you're a pharmacist. Exactly how would one gain the knowledge required to set off poison gas?
Oh, that's basic knowledge for any pharmacist acquainted with Megatoxin X. Even says on the warning label, danger, do not mix with normalium.
Then, is there another way for someone who isn't a pharmacist to obtain that information?
Well, it might be possible if they've seen the Angel's recipe.
Well, there we have it. The recipe book that was the grand prize of the contest 18 years ago.
Since it also contains the recipe to prepare Megatoxin X.
Well, blammo. We have our evidence. Does this mean that you've also seen the contents of the Angel's recipe?
Yeah, see? That's a given, of course. The pharmaceutical company I work for is the Master Group. It's the company that makes the Cold Killer X medicine. I wonder why she's still dressed as a chef.
Cold Killer X, the cold medicine that promises to kill colds good.
After Jeffy got declared guilty, the company took back the recipe book. However, only a small group of elite pharmacists have been allowed to see it though.
So, this woman's also a part of that small group of elite pharmacists.
Yeah, the Master Group, we already knew that.
Please tell me the reason why you hid this cloth.
Oh, I guess I have no choice since the cat's out of the bag. I found this cloth floating in the fountain, and right after that, I was called to the Autumn Palace.
So that's the moment Larry captured in his so-called sketch of beauties.
At first, I thought one of the fluorescent cloths I'd given Katie had washed away.
But didn't you want to give 4 fluorescent cloths as a present to this museum?
There were 4 fluorescent cloths covering the sculptures in the Autumn Palace, right? So that's when I realised that this was the cloth that went missing 18 years ago. The poison gas broke out because someone stolen my Megatoxin X. So I thought the fluorescent cloth might have also been used for the crime. I was afraid I'd be suspected, so I didn't say anything about it to anyone.
I see.
But I shall feel a lot better after talking about it. Stress isn't good for your figure, after all.
18 years ago, the cloth that was wrapped around the body went missing. Who would have thought it would turn up in the fountain along with the body?
Do 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 do. Could we have talked about this earlier? Because he said, I'll talk to him later, which is why I didn't click on it.
About that sketch you mentioned just now.
What? If you wanted to see my art, you should have been honest about it from the start. Look, here it is.
Because he said,
I'll talk about it later.
so I assumed like we had to do it later. But no, we could have just done it right away. And there it is. That's what Edgeworth was talking about. We hadn't seen it yet though. That is blue. That's the fluorescent cloth. That's blue. Thank you, Larry.
What is this?
I already told you it's a sketch of beauties. But just to be clear, the beauties only refers to Justy and Katie.
What? You fucking bitch.
That other plump lady has nothing to do with that.
Fuck you! Then why'd you draw her on the same page?
Well, I was taking a break from my still life painting when those beauties caught my eye. I guess I just drew them on the same page without thinking.
So you're saying that the pictures on this page were each drawn separately?
Huh? Oh yeah, I may have drawn them at different times. By the way, there's a drawing of the beautiful little Miss K on another page.
You're weird.
Larry, you drew this exactly as you saw it, correct?
Well yeah, even I can't draw what I can't see. I recreated the scene perfectly, even the delicate shades.
Delicate shades, huh? I don't want to admit it, but this picture might be of help to the investigation. The contents of this sketch, and the service cart in the fountain patio. It seems there's a contradiction between the two. I'll need to expose this contradiction using my powers of deduction. Could I borrow the sketch for a while?
Sure, I could even send it for you if you like.
I think I'll pass. I don't want to talk to you again. Whoa, it's white?
Don't know if we have to show the fluorescent cloth or the picture. I'm assuming the picture.
Larry, there's something I want to ask you about your sketch.
Huh? You want a lecture on sketching from the famed Professor Larice, do ya? Larice, do ya?
No, I just need to ask you something. The tablecloth in your sketch, are you sure it was light blue?
Yeah, my eyes never fail me.
But the one on the service cart here is white, isn't it?
Dude! You're always so busy thinking with just your head that you miss the obvious.
What's with that look on your face?
When I drew that painting, I was using the card with the tea set on it, remember? Because I was tidying up the broken pottery shards.
That's not something to be proud of.
Right then, Katie came out of the Winter Palace. I had to hurry and hide the broken teapot so that she wouldn't notice it.
Just a bunch of fucking candy piled up on it.
Did you just say Miss Hawk came out of the Winter Palace?
That's right, but this time she was pushing another service cart. And the tablecloth was light blue, just like how I drew it.
What did she do with that service cart?
Beats me. She went into the Summer Palace with it, so I don't know.
Summer Palace.
And when she came out, she was pushing the lift trolley.
The lift trolley?
When I called out to her, she was so surprised that she just left it there. She's so cute when she's shy.
You're weird. A second service cart and a lift trolley.
Maybe there are 2 tea sets along with 2 service carts.
We'll have to verify it with Miss Hall.
Do we have any logic, by the way?
No, only one. Let's just talk to Catherine then.
Miss Hall, where have you been until now?
I'll be showing the remaining guests out and handing out complimentary gifts as an apology. Did you require my services?
Yes, there are a few things I want to ask you about. If my suspicions are correct. She's the one who set up the poison gas trap. Is it true you keep 2 service carts on the premises?
Yes. Is there something wrong?
Earlier, I was looking at one of the sketches from that so-called artist, and I noticed that he'd drawn the cart's tablecloth light blue.
Light blue? Are you sure you weren't mistaken, Monsieur? I only ever use tablecloths that are pure white. That's true. The tablecloth here doesn't have a single spot on it. Yes, that's because I always change them immediately, whenever they get dirty.
Did Larry really get the color wrong then? What were you doing when this sketch was drawn?
Granddad!
At that time, I was just doing my job as usual.
And could you tell me exactly what that work entails?
I need your team to stop, Catherine. This is granddadding me up.
Flintstones?
What were you doing when you were drawing this sketch? From the looks of the drawing, it doesn't seem like you were transporting the tea set.
This was when I was delivering chocolates to all the people in the investigation. Ah, how nice. Chocolates. I wish I could have gotten some too. Here, there are still a few left, so please eat these then. I made them myself, though it's possible they might not suit your taste. Woohoo! Thank you so much.
Thank you. Perhaps it's because
Oh my god, I'm taking my headphones off. I just can't anymore.
Perhaps it's because she had them in her pocket, but it looks like they've melted a bit.
If a sound effect plays, I'm not gonna hear it because this is just... I can only hear Granddad. The sweet goodness. I'm happy to hear you say that.
These chocolates are a little misshapen, but I'm glad to get some sugar into my system. Although, they're a little too sweet for my taste. How exactly did you prepare the melted sculptures from 18 years ago?
My, so you know about what happened 18 years ago. It's because 18 years ago, I photographed Monsieur Dover's sculptures. Using the photos as a base, I managed to create replicas.
Replicas?
The Zodiac sculptures had been an unfinished work, so I wanted to complete it somehow. Because I'm the one who accidentally melted Monsieur Dover's sculptures.
And could you tell me why the Autumn Palace resembles the Winter Palace so much?
Well, my apologies. Did they really look so alike? I think I may have gotten some of the decorations mixed up.
She's obviously lying, but I haven't gathered any evidence to prove that yet.
Headphones coming back on. Blama, Wazam.
This case seems to have a lot in common with the case 18 years ago. I agree. The melted ice in the Winter Palace and the body of the victim from 18 years ago.
I wonder why nobody ever noticed the body was missing after all this time.
The only family Mr. Dover had was a young son. His son, and Mr. Gustavia's son, who attended the same elementary school. After the case, they both went missing.
What? And they haven't been found yet?
I haven't heard any news about Mr. Gustavia's son being found. But as for Mr. Dover's son, he was found and his inheritance was delivered to him. And because of that, Mr. Dover never had a proper funeral. That way, they were able to make it look like the body had been in police custody. The autopsy report had also been forged, so nobody but the defense ever found out. But in karma, he would go that far. Mr. Shields, could you tell me what kind of person Miss Hall is? Miles? Don't tell me. You're also interested in Katie? No. Well, all joking aside, all Uncle Ray can say is that Katie I know is a truly admirable woman. For 18 years she's always wanted to remain here and await for Master's return. However, she was driven out of the mansion by Master's relatives.
What? She was driven out of the mansion?
That's because Kate isn't related by blood to Mr. Master. With no family and her job taken from her, she could only live on with the song and dance that Mr. Master had taught her. Well, she's now retired as a world-famous actress, though. Why did she retire? Because she had already saved up enough money to buy this mansion.
Oh, nice.
It seems she even got back the Angel's Recipe that had been taken by the Master Group.
Now I have to put together that Kate has also seen the Angel's Recipe before, thank you.
This mansion, where she lived with Mr. Master, had been everything to her. She probably just wanted to take back everything that she lost. It seems that Mr. Shields sympathizes with Miss Hall, but he could also say that her actions have taken away everything Mr. Master had. The method used to set off the poison gas is explained in the Angel's Recipe. And the current owner of the Angel's Recipe is Miss Hall.
Ah, so that means...
Indeed, it means that it is possible she knew how to set off the poison gas. With this, we can expose her lies for what they are.
There we go. Investigation complete.
Now all that's left is to wait for the results of the teapot.
I was really considering saying, my name is Malzitworth and I'm a prosecutor. It's only been an hour. Damn, these parts are short. Also, there were 2 parts in yesterday's stream that were so short. Obviously, the second part that we did, the second present day part with Miles, that was only like 20 minutes, I think. And then the first Gregory part that we did, I did accidentally load instead of saving. Which I'm gonna save right now. But I obviously loaded before saving. So it went on for a bit longer, but it was only like half an hour, I think, in total. So like these parts in this case are all very short, which explains why it's 9 parts in total, I guess, because there's just a lot of really short ones.
I have a report. We've detected traces of mammalian from the teapot.
You can't be serious! It's just like Mr. Edwards said. Why the fuck is Laurie drawing?
Darn it! Did Mr. Edwards take the title of the best from me again?
Mr. the Best, it seems like you have an obsession about... Also, you sounded like Larry. It seems like you have an obsession about being the best. But when you're on a case, winning and losing is of no importance.
What are you saying? Obviously, it's best to be the best at everything.
If you can't understand that, then you have no business being a prosecutor.
What? Please stop harassing Sebastian. Hi Dawson, welcome in. Damn, Akio, are you the Avada Kedavra curse because you're drop dead gorgeous? That's a good one. Welcome in, Dawson. I hope you're having a good day. It's been a while, oh my goodness. Dawson, there we go. I hope you're having a great day. Oops, I did that shout out. Oh well. It's been a while. Welcome in. Sebastian, a person of your caliber has no need to listen to such things. Justine? Yeah, you're right. So far so good, how are you? I'm doing pretty well today. I'm feeling pretty energetic, pretty good. Please leave this to me. Why don't you go check on the victim's condition? Yeah, that's a great idea. I'll be right back then. Alright, I'll be waiting.
Judge Courtney is much more troublesome than Mr. the Best.
Well then. Miss Curator, can you tell us why normalium was discovered in the teapot? I was not aware that it contained such a chemical. I suppose it may have been an ingredient from the detergent I'd used. That sounds dangerous. That was in a teapot? So you're saying that you did not put it in deliberately? No, of course not. There's no way for me to have known how to create the poison gas.
Despite being a former actress, it seems you're not very good at lying.
What do you mean?
The angel's recipe is in your possession, and the method to create the poison gas is contained inside that recipe book, so you must have known how to create it.
I'm surprised you knew about that. Miss Curator, is this true? It's true that information about the poison gas is contained in one of the recipes. However, just because I saw it does not mean that I was responsible for the crime. Could you tell me what set off the poison gas? It was caused by the victim heating the lid of the glass case with a burner. I see. If he locked himself in that room of his own will and then set off the poison gas, wouldn't that suggest suicide?
No, Sebastian said suicide is off the table for now. It's the funny thing that he says, that thing. Does she intend to deny it until the bitter end?
Furthermore, I wouldn't have been able to obtain a chemical like Megatoxin X.
That may be true, but you could have stolen it from someone else.
That reminds me, I met up with Katie a week ago and that night was when I realized that my Megatoxin X was gone. Katie, you couldn't have... That was couldn't, not the C word. That gets like instantly demonetized on YouTube or something. It was couldn't. Madame Delicia always carried her medicine bag around with her. Anyone could have stolen it.
That's right. I don't have any proof that she was the one who stole it.
Cade, can't you tell us what you're hiding?
I know you're not the kind of person who would hurt someone without a reason.
Monsieur Shields, you doubt me as well?
Setting a trap on one of the gallery's exhibits, and then disguising the rooms. I just think it would have been impossible for anyone but the curator.
That's not true. There are no guards or security cameras at this gallery. If any ill-intentioned person wanted to sneak into the gallery, it would have been an easy task for them. Then, isn't it like an all-you-can-eat steel buffet in there? You have to be careful. You never know when a great thief could appear.
It doesn't sound like a joke when Case says it.
Actually, Monsieur Gustavia apparently entered the gallery before it opened.
Well, I'm beat. Looks like Uncle Ray can't do anything to break down Kate's iron guard.
Also, I think Gustavia only appears in the last part. So the title, just ignore it until now, okay? He'll appear eventually, and then we can do the funny, Despicable Me.
Looks like Uncle Ray can't do anything to break down Kate's iron guard. This might be a good time to use the technique your old man taught me. The technique? My father taught you. This case is deeply connected to the one from 18 years ago. If we just pursue the present case, it may seem like there's a lot we don't understand. But if we try turning things around, there might be a hint in the case from the past.
Look at his little thief.
Thinking the other way around. Turning our thinking around! Did my father do that too? For example, just consider the relationship between the past case and Kate. Miss Hall melted Mr. Dover's sherbet sculptures 18 years ago. And today, Mr. Dover's works are on display in this gallery. It can't be. She. I see. Now I know what to ask her. That's good to hear. In that case, Uncle Ray will just watch over you as you do your work. Miss Catherine Hall. 18 years ago, it seems that you melted Mr. Dover's sherbet sculptures.
Yes, I was young and inexperienced, and I did something inexcusable.
However, isn't that why you're able to open the Zodiac Art Gallery?
I don't know what you mean. I don't understand either. Prosecutor Edgeworth, do you seek her testimony?
Yes, I would like her to tell me about the Zodiac Art Gallery. I would like to know the reason you decided to open a gallery for Mr. Dover's artwork.
If you insist that this is related to the case at hand, I will allow it. Ms. Curator, your testimony, if you please. Very well, if that will clear your suspicions about me. Now then, please testify about the Zodiac Art Gallery. "18 years after Munchausen Master was arrested, I was finally able to buy back this mansion." Why does it say testimony sometimes and argument other times? This is confusing. Just say testimony every time or argument every time. Then, in order to maintain it, I decided to manage it as an art gallery. I collected Pierre Hoquet's works from all over the world. After all, it was my dream to open the Zodiac Art Gallery. It's wonderful that your dream has come true. What do you think, Prosecutor Edgeworth? I don't believe there was anything strange about her testimony.
Judge Courtney, I believe in the courtroom it is standard to cross-examine the witness. Wouldn't you agree it's a little too early to say that there are no contradictions?
You speak like a defense attorney. Very well. Proceed as you please. "18 years after Munchausen Master was arrested, I was finally able to buy back this mansion."
It must have taken a lot of hard work these past 18 years to buy back the mansion.
"The place full of my memories with Munchausen Master, it is the only place for me. No matter what, at any cost, I wanted it back. My throat is fucked." She looks like she's having fun.
Well, she is a former actress. Singing and dancing is her livelihood. Enough with the singing. Please continue your testimony.
Then, in order to maintain it, I decided to manage it as an art gallery.
Are you managing this gallery by yourself?
Yes, well, I say manage, but it only opened today. And I must continue protecting this mansion, so that Munchausen Master has a place to return to.
So, she took back the mansion for Mr. Master's sake. Kate, I'm so sorry. I was powerless.
It's not your fault, Muncher Shields. I couldn't do anything either. All I can do now is continue to protect the mansion. I collected Pierre Hoquet's works from all over the world.
Pierre Hoquet. That's Mr. de Vesalius, correct?
Yes, it's the name he used when he worked as a sculptor in France.
About collecting his works. How did you prepare the Taurus and Gemini sculptures? I heard that Mr. Diver passed away before he completed those two sculptures.
I had the sculptures in the Winter Palace specially made, based on the photos I took.
Oh? Could you tell us about that in more detail?
After all, it was my dream to open the Zodiac Art Gallery.
Opening the Zodiac Art Gallery was your dream.
The truth is, I wanted to manage the gallery together with Muncher Master. Singing and dancing, and all kinds of sweets. That's the kind of gallery I dreamed about.
Was she planning on staging a musical in here?
Geoffrey Master disobeyed the goddess of law. It is unfortunate, but I'm afraid that your dream will never come to pass. No, Muncher Master is innocent. The prosecutor at the time did not believe it, but...
In order to protect Catherine Hall, Geoffrey Master gave a false confession. They were both trying to protect each other.
I prepared replicas of the sculptures in the Winter Palace based on the photos I took.
By photos, do you mean the ones taken in Isaac Dover's room?
Yes, you seem quite familiar with the events from 18 years ago, Muncher Edgeworth. So, the sculptures in the Winter Palace were replicas. They melted, and I didn't even get to see them once.
No, the shepherd sculptures shouldn't have been replicas. Miss Hall is obviously lying.
After all that trouble it took to prepare them, it's a shame they melted.
The sculptures in the Winter Palace are the same shepherd sculptures from 18 years ago. Unless I point that out to her, I won't be able to find out the truth.
So... prepared replicas of the sculptures and the photos I took. Let me look at the photos. So this is the present day. Wait, it's missing the strings, because Geoffrey Master ate them. Did I just present that? I think I just present this. Fuck. Does... oh fuck. There we go. I accidentally, unfull screened. Jeff might have given us a testimony that he ate it. Could be in here. Nah. I decided to present it instead of looking through it first. Just in case, so that it'd be faster. Unless it's this one. How do I show that the strings were eaten by Master? Unless it's not this statement. No, it should be that last statement. I did press it already, but let's just try again. No, I'm just confused. Replicas. I know that they aren't replicas because they were eaten. Nom nom, choo choo. Is the liquid analysis result because it had fucking salt or something? That's silly. I could have shown it with the...
Did you really think that your excuses would continue to hold up? No matter how much you lie, you can't deny the composition of the sculptures. From the analysis results, it's quite clear that the sculptures in the Winter Palace are the sherbet sculptures Mr. Dover created.
Oi, Miley! As a pharmacist, it's my turn to shine. What we call sugar actually comes in many different varieties and tastes. Even if the sculptures were replicas, it's nearly impossible to replicate the composition.
I see. Thank you for the explanation. No, I don't recall asking for one. That, Ms. Hall, means you couldn't have melted the sherbet sculptures back then. You stole them and preserved them for 18 years.
Ah! What? She preserved this sherbet for 18 whole years?
If you freeze it properly, it's not impossible.
Silence, please. Miss Curator, what do you have to say? I can't believe you've already uncovered so much. So, you're admitting that you stole the sherbet sculptures? No, I cannot admit to such a thing. There isn't any proof that I stole them after all. Also, I couldn't have stolen the sculptures 18 years ago. I don't think they would have been easy to steal without the police noticing.
Is that so? I don't know what you did 18 years ago. As such, how can I judge how difficult it would have been to steal them?
It looks like you won't give up so easily.
I don't intend on giving up until I learn the truth.
I understand. Then I shall tell you what I did 18 years ago. On the day of the incident, I was waiting in the main building until the judging. During the judging, at Muncher Master's request, I went to change the film and the camera. But before I could deliver the camera to him, I discovered Muncher Dover's body. After Muncher Gregory arrived, I prepared tea for everyone involved in the investigation. It was then that I witnessed Muncher Gustavia entering Muncher Dover's room. And that was everything I had done on that day. I don't think there's anything suspicious about my actions.
That's not your decision to make.
Mr. Edgeworth, were there any contradictions in her testimony?
And now I should just prove that she stole the sculptures. But when could Miss Hall have stolen them? If I can answer that, her crime should come to light.
On the day of the incident, I was waiting in the main building until the judging.
Ouch, sorry, I accidentally just flung my chair into my desk. What were you doing before the judging began?
I was in my room on the second floor, practicing my dancing. Aw, look at them. I was performing on the TV show Piece of Cake back then. Piece of Cake? What kind of show was that?
It was a children's program. The host made sweets while singing and dancing.
Ooh, that sounds like fun.
Well, that's unexpected. You knew about the show, Miles. My father told me about it once, so I just happened to watch it a few times. So Miss Hall was practicing her dancing in her room. Could Miss Hall have stolen the sculptures then?
It couldn't have been then, right? Because we saw the sculptures. I'll say that she stole them because if it's wrong, I'll instantly know.
This was when you stole the sherbet sculptures.
Okay, I get it. So all of these testimonies, we're going to be like, okay, so did she steal it then? And I have to say that it's like when they quote-unquote melted.
I should listen to more of her testimony.
Because it was when they melted. During the judging at Muncher Master's request, I went to change the film and the camera.
So, you were the only one who could move freely during the judging period.
I certainly would have had more freedom to move about than the contestants. However, I couldn't possibly have stolen the sculptures right in front of Muncher Master. Moreover, upon being asked to change the film, I went directly to the entryway.
At Mr. Master's request, she went to change the film in the camera.
I don't think she stole them then because Jeff still judged them, right?
It couldn't have been then.
Master still judged them, right? So it had to be after the judging. Had to be before they discovered the quote-unquote melted sculptures. But before I could deliver the camera to him, I discovered Muncher Dover's body.
So you entered Mr. Master's room before you delivered the camera?
Yes, I heard the sound of something breaking, you see. Muncher Master, are you in here? Oh, sorry, this is little me. Eek! This is when I was a tiny little... No, never mind, it's back to normal.
That was actually the sound of the ship breaking. Someone snuck a bite of it, you see. When the body was discovered, was Mr. Master still judging Mr. Gustavia's room?
I'm sure that he was. Muncher Master is the type of person who would carefully judge one room at a time.
She found Mr. Dover's body inside Mr. Master's room. Could Miss Olive stolen the sculptures then?
No, because Jeff was still judging.
It couldn't have been then. I should list more of her testimony.
After Muncher Gregory arrived, I prepared tea for everyone involved in the investigation. After Gregory arrived... Could it have been? No, it couldn't have been then.
Did you do so in the same manner as today?
Maybe. Yes, I poured tea for everyone working on the investigation.
Now that you mention it, Uncle Ray also got some tea from you that day. Kay was pushing her service cart back and forth, from the patio to the main building. I see. Did anything seem strange to you then? Well, I remember your old man singing praises of her Ceylon tea. And he also said something about how the saucer was chilled.
Chilled?
The saucer was chilled.
Ice. It was then.
This was when you stole the sherbet sculptures.
I'm sorry, but Muncher Shields and company were at the fountain patio the entire time. Are you saying that I stole them in broad daylight?
Yes, that's precisely what I'm saying. This is where you hid the sculptures.
Take that!
Neither my father nor Mr. Shields realized the sculpture was right in front of them. What you were pushing around was no ordinary service cart. It was the sculpture itself.
Eek! But surely that would still be impossible. If she placed the sculptures on the service cart, people would notice immediately.
I never said she used the service cart to move the sculptures.
What? What do you mean? Then what did she use to move the sculptures around? Oh, I get it, they're different things. I thought the service cart was just this, but with, like, a table on it. But no, the lift trolley and the service cart are two different things entirely. Okay. And this is?
This is the lift trolley Mr. Dover used 18 years ago to move his sherbet sculptures. It seems this same lift trolley lies here in the fountain patio.
That's because it was originally prepared for the contest in the first place. Are you saying she used the lift trolley to move the sculptures?
Yes. If the sculptures were placed on this lift trolley, and then covered with a tablecloth, it could be disguised as a service cart and moved without arousing suspicion.
How could that be?
So, the saucers were chilled because they were sitting on the ice sculptures. Kate, what's the meaning of this? What were you thinking?
That was truly impressive. You certainly are. An ace attorney, Muncher Gregory's son. After 18 years, it's hard to imagine any proof that I stole the sculptures remained. But I knew it was only a matter of time until I was suspected. Miss Curator, does this mean you admit to stealing the sculptures? Yes, I admit it. 18 years ago, I stole the sherbet sculptures from Muncher Dover's room. It's just as Muncher Edgeworth says. I disguised the lift trolley as a service cart, and I served tea as I made my way back and forth. That wasn't all. I also took the ice block with all the star clusters on it.
An ice block with star clusters on it? That seems familiar. A giant block of ice is being displayed here.
That's why I had to look at that first, before I could progress the plot. I remember very specifically I had to look at that one last thing before the plot could progress. That's why.
It appears to be quite heavy. No, the inside must be hollow. The Winter Palace has a reproduction of Mr. Dover's room from 18 years ago. Because they'd melted, my father never got the chance to see them. But those blocks of ice were also originally from Dover's Sherbet Salon.
The 2 sculptures and the 2 blocks of ice. I took everything I could. And then I placed empty glass cases in Monsieur Dover's room. The sculptures were all encased in glass to preserve their fine details. But the ice blocks were being displayed as they were. As per the rules, we prepared the glass cases for Mr. Dover.
So it would have been easier for her to prepare the glass cases.
In Monsieur Dover's room, there were some sculptures that were still unfinished. I thought if I melted them, it would look like the ones I stole had melted too. So everything you see in the Winter Palace are all original works from 18 years ago. Miss Hall, it didn't take much to get her to confess.
Then she must know. She knows it isn't enough to try her in court.
That is all I have to say. But, even though I admit to stealing the sculptures, you can't arrest me for it. What? What do you mean by that? Heavens! You're assisting an investigation without knowing this much?
Yeah, it's the, statute of limitations. Now we're gonna get this book as evidence. Oh my god. It's like the, book of evidence that we got in, Rise from the Ashes.
Perhaps you should read this book concerning the statute of limitations. Statute of limitations?
Thanks. We're gonna need this. Let me just quickly, read something very important to do with this. So, you see, if the suspect flees to or lives in a foreign country, the time limit is on hold until the suspect returns. Remember that.
To put it simply, it's the time frame in which a suspect can be taken to court. You can see it on this page.
I know we're gonna read. Alright, let's read the whole thing. Murder 15 years, theft 7 years. Well, didn't stay there for very long, did it? The statute of limitations for murder is 15 years, and for theft it's 7 years. Ah!
That's right. And Miss Hall's theft was 18 years ago. According to the statute, she cannot be arrested for stealing the sculptures.
So that's how it is. Stealing evidence from a crime scene is an unforgivable offense. But I'll forgive it because it went past the statute of limitations. However, for this crime at least, we have no right to pass judgment. Also, I keep realizing that judgment is spelled wrong. Is that just, do Americans not spell judgment with an E? Because judgment is definitely spelled with an E, but Americans might not. Yeah, judgment is not spelled with an E in America. Because America, like, has a bunch of words that are spelled with just one less letter. Yeah. It appears that Prosecutor Edward's tepid reasoning has all been for naught.
I wonder about that. I deduced Miss Hall's actions simply to expose her different crime. If she only took the sculptures, we wouldn't have found the body from 18 years ago.
Are you saying that I hid Monsieur Dover's body?
That's correct.
But how can someone hide a body for 18 years?
I would imagine it would be very difficult under normal circumstances.
So you're saying the circumstances weren't normal? Are you claiming that you know where the body was hidden?
When you consider Miss Hall's actions, the answer becomes obvious. 18 years ago, Miss Hall stole something more than just sherbet sculptures.
If you're so confident, I would like to hear your answer. Where did Miss Hall hide the body? I want to say in the... I don't know exactly what we're talking about. I want to say in the sculptures, but I don't know if we're there yet. Okay, yeah. This is the photograph of Mr. Dover's sculptures. Oh, was it in that one glass case that was hollow?
Yes, and perhaps you've noticed that the victim's body can be seen in this picture.
No, because the Gemini one had blood in it, so it's probably that, yeah. I do not see it. Please point it out clearly.
Where in this picture can one see the body of the victim? Where we can see the body? Oh.
It's time to expose the location of the body.
Is that his body? There? Just wrapped up in one of those fluorescent cloths?
Take that!
Catherine! The Gemini sculpture?
Yes, while it may look like the Gemini sculpture at first glance, in reality this is none other than Isaac Dover himself.
This ice sculpture was the victim's body. But all I can see from this picture is an ice sculpture statue.
And that's because a certain piece of evidence was used to conceal it.
Conceal it? Which piece of evidence did Ms. Hall use to conceal the body?
Take that!
This is the cloth that was covering the sculptures in the Autumn Palace.
This cloth manipulates light. With it, it's entirely possible to make something look like ice. Isn't that right, Delicia?
Yeah, see? When it glows red, it's like a raging inferno. How when it glows blue, you can almost feel the glittering cold ice. That cloth will only emit light when it is attached to a special device.
Objection!
Yeah, and that device was found, wasn't it?
Judge Courtney, look closely at the picture one more time.
Oh yeah, it's clearly just there.
Beneath the Gemini case lies a box-shaped object attached to the pedestal.
Yeah, you can clearly just see it. This is...
A rainbow light device. Detective Gumshoe reported one in the Winter Palace. This is the device that went missing 18 years ago. Originally, it would have been attached to the cloth inside the glass case. Naturally, Ms. Hall took the device with her when she moved the sculptures. By using the rainbow light device to make the fluorescent cloth glow.
Ah, I've yawned.
Mr. Dover's body was made to look like a nice sculpture.
That's ridiculous.
So then, when Uncle Ray took a photo of the Winter Palace... That's right, the body had been in front of us all along, disguised as Gemini.
However, the body and the fluorescent cloth were both discovered in the fountain. If the ice sculpture was the body, we would have found it in the Winter Palace.
If we'd found it there, her trick would have been revealed immediately. Ms. Hall moved the body out of the Winter Palace to prevent us from discovering it.
Absurd. You say she threw the body into the fountain without any of us noticing?
No, Judge Courtney. There was no need for that. She simply used the same method as before. Remember the lift trolley? She moved the body to some other room and dumped it into the stream to the fountain. Naturally, the frozen body would have sunk to the bottom of the fountain. That's where the cloth floated up first, and was found by Delicia.
And eventually, the body thawed out and floated to the surface. Hold it! Monsieur Edgeworth, you truly have a gift for deductive reasoning. However, do you have any proof that I moved the body?
Yes.
If you cannot prove that, then there's no way I can accept what you're saying. Wasn't there anyone who saw Miss Hall move the body?
Yes. Yes, I believe such a person exists. The answers lie in the evidence that person gave me. And that piece of evidence will reveal the truth of Miss Hall's actions.
Prosecutor Edgeworth, are you able to prove the crime of Miss Curator?
Certainly. I have evidence that will show exactly what she did.
Then it's time we see your answer. Which piece of evidence reveals Miss Curator's actions?
Take that!
Another sketch. Oh, it appears I've been drawn in this one.
This is a sketch Larry drew of the woman at the fountain patio. I would like to direct your attention to the service cart on the left side of the sketch.
Service card? What about it?
Don't you see? What transpired 18 years ago has happened again. Miss Hall was moving the body in this sketch.
No! Hold it. Please, wait. I don't see Monsieur Dover's body anywhere in that drawing. All I did was hand out chocolates to everyone.
The key detail in this sketch is the color of the tablecloth. Up until now, I thought Larry just made a mistake.
What, up until now? Really, Edgeworth? It took you this long? The tablecloth. It's light blue.
It may be light blue in that sketch, but no blue tablecloths exist in this mansion. Perhaps it's light blue because the body was hidden, still glowing underneath the tablecloth.
What? But The lift trolley's rectangular in the sketch. If she just placed the body in the lift trolley, we would have noticed it immediately. It was in ice.
There were 2 blocks of ice in the winter palace that are completely hollowed out. If she put the body inside of the block of ice, it would look like a service cart.
That's...
Miss Hall, you put the body in the block of ice and used the lift trolley to move it, didn't you?
I was pressing C. I never imagined you would be able to deduce so much from just a single sketch. But what if it was just a mistake? Like you said before, it doesn't prove anything.
I agree that alone the sketch is worthless. Once you remove the body, the service cart would revert back to a lift trolley. That's why the lift trolley was left behind in the fountain patio. And without the service cart, there would be no place for you to put your chocolates.
The chocolates I gave everyone?
Until then, the chocolates had sat on top of the service cart as you gave them away. But when you gave them to us, you took them from your pocket.
Ah, now that you mention it, they were a bit more melted. But they were still really sweet and tasty.
So why was it necessary to put them in your pocket halfway through?
That's because...
That's because once the body was disposed of, you no longer held a service cart.
Ah! Hold it right there. If she put the chocolates in her pocket and left the lift trolley in the patio, then where did the tablecloth go?
If she'd been forced to put the chocolates in her pocket, she wouldn't have had time to dispose of the tablecloth.
Prosecutor Edgeworth, can you answer that for me?
The tablecloth wasn't hidden. It's right in front of us.
Do clarify. The tablecloth used to hide the body. Where is it now? Miss Hall has it? Sure. If she didn't have time, then she had to have it on her. Hi, Gloom. Who are piercing the attorney? It's Miles. He's acing his attorney up. I hope you're having a good day. Welcome in.
Isn't it obvious? Miss Hall's carrying it with her out in the open.
Wait, is that... Oh my god, is that it? Woke, Edgeworth, Wokeworth.
I've succumbed to the woke PIC. I'm now asexual, which is very woke.
Oh my god, she didn't have it. Oh my god. That's actually really smart. I like that. Out in the open. Ah, you mean...
Miss Hall, you are wearing the tablecloth around your waist. The block of ice was not encased in a glass case. In other words, the tablecloth was in direct contact with the block of ice. If we have it examined, we will undoubtedly find traces of sherbet on it. Miss Hall, you will turn your tablecloth over to the police at once.
There's no need to examine the tablecloth. Hello, guys. Welcome in again. Patat Frey. I don't know how to pronounce it, sorry. It is just as you say. I stole the poison from Madame Delicia, and I moved the body. How are you? I don't know if I said that, but how are you? Or if you don't want to say it, then don't. You don't have to. I stole the poison from Madame Delicia, and I moved the body. Oh, look at her. I've done terrible things. No, she's crying. Call me Iris, it's easier. Okay, thank you. Madame Delicia, I'm so sorry. 1 week ago, I took your Megatoxin X bottle. Woke Iris, call that Garrus. Oh my goodness. Iris, are you woke? No. I slipped it into that man's pocket to make it look like suicide. What? You slipped it into... No. I'm sorry, but that's not how it would... Why suicide by poison gas? I'm sorry, but Kate, that's not very believable, right? Like, am I crazy? Committing suicide with poison gas in an art gallery that's currently open to the public. That's just impractical. Iris is part of the woke PIC. No! And if they suspected it was murder, the evidence would point to Madame Delicia. Katie!
Kate, what were you thinking? Weren't we always trying to save Mr. Master together?
I could not let myself be arrested. Not until I had proven Muncha Master's innocence. From the very beginning, I had planned to turn myself in once everything was over. But I suppose it's too late to say that now.
goofy ass suicide who just kills themselves with gas dramatic as hell. Unfortunately, this is the truth. I've become woke. Woke PSC be like, we'll take your badge and your pronouns. And in your pronouns. Catherine's so gorgeous. She is really pretty. I love Catherine. But I suppose it is too late to say that now.
Kate, why? Why would you go this far?
She also has a lovely voice. In fact, everyone's voice in this game is really, really good. You know, I don't know who voiced them. It's weird. I'm just watching this. I'm not playing a game. I'm just watching this. It's all voice acted. I don't know who did it. It sounds really good though. I really love the person's voice who did this.
Why would you go this far?
Even for the Muncher Shields, I've caused nothing but trouble. For the past 18 years, I had been a criminal. The IS-7 incident. Don't tell me that you were the true culprit. Shout out to the VAs. Yeah, shout out to the actual VAs. The people who actually did the objection voice lines and all that. Don't tell me that you were the true culprit. My greatest crime was stealing the sherbet sculptures for my own selfish interests. When Muncher Dover died, they were no longer just ordinary sculptures. They had become the final works of the sculptor Muncher Master so deeply loved. The reminiscing makes me want to curl myself. Yeah, just like Gustavia did with poison gas. What if they melted before Muncher Master returned? With that in mind, I couldn't let anyone touch them, not even the police. Even though I knew it was wrong, I moved them to Mansion's freezer. Parasocial relationship got Catherine's ass. However, I only wanted to preserve Muncher Dover's art. I did not know his body was hidden among them, among us. He was a sussy baka. So, wait, so she didn't hide the body in there? Okay, interesting.
So she stole the sculptures without noticing the body.
Muncher Master would never take another person's life. But because of me, the body vanished and Muncher Master was found guilty. Alright, that's a good point, because I was going to say earlier, it doesn't make sense for her to hide the body because that only places suspicion on Master. But yeah. It was unknowing, okay. That kind man. He treated someone like me as family. He meant more to me than anyone else, and yet...
Kate.
When Muncher Master was found guilty, I was chased out of this mansion. I was finally able to reclaim the mansion just a few days ago, but... when I saw the sculptures still sleeping away in the freezer, I realized that I was the one who hid Muncher Dover's body. However, the statute of limitations had already expired. Therefore, I could think of no other way to atone for my sins.
It appears I have misunderstood her. It seems she caused this entire incident in order to save Mr. Master.
What you thinking about, Mr. Edgeworth? I support her. Let her kill people. Yeah, she justified. Justified. This is so sick and twisted. Yeah, this is fucked up. Damn, she hid the body without realizing and basically got her adopted father put in jail.
There's one thing that has been bothering me this whole time.
Even with the body, he might have still been put in jail by one karma, but still, it's fucked up to think about. I need the AI to write his dead.
Why would Miss Hall plan a murder with such an uncertain method like poison gas? And the reason she disguised the Autumn Palace to look like...
I get it! Oh my god, I get it now. Gustavia was reaching for the body. He knew that the body was in the Gemini statue. That's why. Okay. So it is literally a DGS-22. So she put the Normalium so that it would only activate if he did indeed steal the body. But why would he want the body? I guess just so that there's no traces of IS-7.
And the reason she disguised the Autumn Palace to look like the Winter Palace was to make those involved in the incident 18 years ago confuse the two rooms.
I wonder what Kate was trying to accomplish.
She was trying to prove Mr. Master's innocence. In that case, Miss Hall's true objective was... perhaps she was trying to find the true culprit. Miss Hall, were you trying to prove Mr. Master's innocence? You wanted to reveal the true culprit and have the police find the body from 18 years ago. Was that not your true goal? By displaying those sculptures, you'd attract those involved in the past incident. Only 2 people would know where the body was hidden, you and the true culprit. The culprit would have panicked, knowing that the body would be displayed publicly. Yes, and if the culprit really showed up, there's the risk they'd erase their tracks.
Also, I misspoke earlier. The poison gas wasn't in the Gemini, it was in the... Whichever one was disguised as the Gemini, I don't quite remember. The fish one. Pisces. It was in the Pisces one.
Yes, and if the culprit really showed up, there's the risk they'd erase their tracks. In the worst case scenario, they might have even stolen the body. So, how could she protect the evidence while simultaneously luring in the culprit? I see. That's why she made the Autumn Palace look like the Winter Palace. Yes, and then, Ms. Hall, you must have thought, whoever opens the Pisces case, believing it to be the Gemini case, must be the true culprit of the IS-7 incident.
What? But that means... that person is... the true culprit? Please wait a moment, Prosecutor Edgeworth. Do you realize what you're saying? You intend to accuse that person of being the culprit behind the IS-7 incident. I don't know why we keep saying that person. Incident Investigations does this so much, and specifically the second game where they just say that person, that man, that guy. And it's like, yeah, we all know. We all know who got poisoned.
Ms. Hall was trying to trap the true culprit. If so, wouldn't the person who fell for the trap be the true culprit? However, I have no evidence to back up my claims. If I make a formal accusation without any proof, it will not end well. Should I announce the true killer of Isaac Dover?
Sure. Why not?
What I should do is reveal the truth. In that case, there's no need to hesitate.
I'm sad that Gustavia's the killer, though. Because... he looks evil, that's the thing. He looks like the person that you would say, oh, that dude's instantly the killer. Like, just look at him. He looks like you would say, oh, that guy is going to be the killer. And then he's quirky and weird and lovely. But then he's just the killer anyway. It's just... I don't like it. I don't know. Like, I like it in terms of it works. I just don't like that they designed a character that looks so evil. And then made him the culprit, you know? He's so fine, I'm ill. That's also true.
Yes, that's correct. Judge Courtney. I indict this person as the true culprit behind the IS-7 incident. It was you, Judge Courtney!
I went right instead of left because I thought it would be faster, because I thought it would just send me here, but... Dane Gustavia, who fell victim to the poison gas, is the true culprit of the IS-7 incident. The Gusties!
Mr. Gustavia. Ms. Hall, didn't you believe that if you opened the gallery, the true culprit would come?
I think they were just being very gay and then realized he's a villain. Have you seen the AI2 concept art? I actually haven't. I should look at that. Oh my god. I haven't even thought to look at the AI2 concept art. Oh my god, I need to.
That's why you set up the poison gas trap, is it not?
They were horny as hell designing those characters. Why is their concept art specifically Master's crotch? Is that? Oh my god, I need to see this. Holy heck. I'm looking that up right after stream. You truly have a gifted mind, just like your father. It is as you say, Muncher Edgeworth.
Now, would you please tell us the whole truth?
Yes, I have nothing more to hide. I will tell you everything. I set a trap in the gallery to find the true culprit. Before the gallery opened, I left only the Autumn Palace unlocked. At opening time, when I went around to unlock each room, I discovered that the Autumn Palace had been locked from the inside. So he locked it, I guess, to get out the body. That makes sense. I tried to search this once, but I couldn't find it. I'm doing a deep dive after stream. I will find Master's crotch. I will. I discovered that the Autumn Palace had been locked from the inside. I knew that the true culprit was on the other side of the door. My hand was trembling.
All that was left was for the trap to do its work.
When I heard Muncher Gustavia was exposed to the poison gas, I realized he was the culprit. And I thought that if the police discovered Muncher Master Dover's body, it would prove Muncher Master's innocence.
Why didn't you ever come talk to me? There might have been another way.
I know that you did everything you could for me over the past 18 years. My question is, Why not just set up some hidden security camera? You know? It would have been a bit easier than, the poison gas. I know that you did everything you could for me over the past 18 years. However, all of this had been brought on by my own crime. That's why I wanted to save Muncher Master as soon as possible.
Kate,
Not only that, the police hid the fact that the body went missing 18 years ago. Even if I reported the body, there was a chance that the truth would be hidden again.
fun again, it was Master's crotch and abs? What? His crotch and abs? Oh my god, they were fucking thirsty. Holy heck.
That's why I caused the incident at the museum opening, with as many witnesses as possible.
I'm sorry. Gregory, Mr. Master, and even you. I couldn't protect anyone. Mr. Shields, it must be tough on him as well.
No, she's crying. The one who should be apologizing is me. Muncher Edgeworth, Muncher Shields. I'm terribly sorry. I shall accept whatever punishment I'm given. However, I must ask of you, please clear Muncher Master's name. Yes, Catherine, we'll do it. We'll do it, Catherine.
The truth that was hidden for 18 years was revealed in an unexpected manner. However, to think that things would end this way.
To be continued. Yeah, I think we probably could have finished the case last stream, but I was tired, so I'm happy that I didn't, because I'm all energetic today. I can do it better today. April 2nd? Wait, yesterday was April Fool's Day? Oh my god. The body was just a prank, guys. We now know. Her poisoning Gustavia, it was all just a prank. Actually, I think this is the same day. Don't worry about it. It was a prank.
Miss Hall, have you composed yourself?
Yes.
What you did, no matter the reason, was unforgivable.
Yes, I know.
However, you committed this crime in order to prove Mr. Master's innocence.
It was just a prank placed to the camera. Yeah, there was a hidden camera in the corner, just watching you get poisoned. It was, we got it all on camera. It's just a prank.
If the true culprit is someone else, we have a duty to reinvestigate.
No, we don't. Statute. No false evidence from the I-7 incident remains in the official case files. Moreover, there is no evidence to lend credence to Miss Hall's testimony. Well, we have the body. We should first arrest Miss Hall as the culprit behind today's incident.
We cannot be certain that all the case files are accurate. After all, the prosecutor in the case has a history of forging evidence.
Are you suggesting that the PIC overlooked such a prosecutor?
That's none of my concern. The truth is that evidence was falsified. And the fact that Dover's body from 18 years ago was just discovered proves it.
Prosecutor Edgeworth, I can see remnants of Prosecutor Von Karma within you.
What did you say?
You tried to deceive the PIC and fabricate the truth. But you're denying that Von Karma fabricated anything. What are you talking about? Let me inform you of my, or rather, the PIC's logic. I acknowledge that Prosecutor Von Karma fabricated the information about the body. However, he successfully convicted Mr. Master as an accomplice. I believe that the true culprit was Miss Curator herself. She even attempted to murder Mr. Gustavia today in order to pin the blame on him.
Is that really what the PIC believes?
Yes, every word I utter is for the sake of law and order. Law and... How do Americans say law and order? Law and order. Law and order. Law and order. Yeah, I like that.
It seems she intends to hide the truth for the sake of the PIC. At this rate, neither Mr. Master nor Miss Hall will be saved.
PIC's logic. Damn, I'm hungry again. Look at the sausage rolls downstairs so I can eat those. I acknowledge that Prosecutor Von Karma fabricated the information about the body.
Hold it!
Oh, so she does acknowledge it now.
If you acknowledge that, well, why then If you acknowledge that, why won't you reopen the case?
The goddess of law does not err in her judgments. While Prosecutor Von Karma may have used underhanded tactics,
If you ask me, it's all been bogus ever since Von Karma fabricated evidence. And you claim that justice was served. What is the PIC thinking?
I can already declare my verdict. There's no need for further investigation.
Let's hear your explanation on the matter then.
You are a terrible judge. I'm sorry, Courtney. I love you with all my heart, but you are a very, very poor judge. However, he successfully convicted Mr. Masters an accomplice.
I heard that the biggest factor in Mr. Master's conviction was his confession. If Prosecutor Von Karma had a hand in his confession, the ruling may not be just.
PIC, more like Wookie, see? Got him! I'm trying. You did fantastically. Damn, they were horny as fuck. The initial investigation was handled by Detective Replacer. He was the one who obtained the confession, according to the official reports. All I can say is that the ruling has already been handed down. Jeez, why does Miss Courtney have to be so stubborn? Is the PIC so high and mighty?
Yes, they're woke. And as we all know, the liberals get everything these days, while us, truth seekers are always the ones who are, you know, people don't like us, and, we are the most oppressed. That's the word I was looking for. We are so oppressed, the woke PIC will get everything. They sure seem like the arch-enemy of prosecutors, to say the least.
So they're kinda like what the police are to great thieves.
Says the great thief who nonchalantly works alongside the police.
I believe that the true culprit was Miss Curator herself.
I was saying that both Miss Hall and Mr. Master murdered Isaac Dover.
Mr. Master committed the murder, while Miss Curator moved the body. That's what I believe. What? How can you say that? How can you say that? We would never kill Monsieur Dover. Did you not steal the body and preserve it for 18 years? It is only natural to suspect you of being an accomplice.
She's already confessed her crimes, and now's not the time to judge her of her past crimes.
In that case, let's judge Miss Hall for her current crime. She even attempted to murder Mr. Gustavia today in order to pin the blame on him.
If she wanted to pin the crime on somebody, why choose Mr. Gustavia?
Perhaps Mr. Gustavia suspected Miss Hall was the criminal, as he attempted to confirm whether or not the Gemini sculpture was genuine. He was caught in a trap meant to silence him forever.
Can you prove that theory?
Mr. Gustavia is currently teetering on the brink of death. There's probably no way to prove it unless he regains consciousness. In other words, there's nothing we can do for now. Liberal peace, PIC be like, Justine Courtney him. Lesbian the best. Jill Gann. Miles Edgeworth. I love Justine Courtney him.
That can't be true. There must still be something we can do.
You still don't get it, do you? Allow me to give you a clearer explanation. We already have ample evidence for both the I-7 incident and today's poison gas incident.
By ample evidence, you mean...
For the I-7 incident, we have a body, the murder weapon, and a pair of suspects. For the poison gas incident, we have the two chemicals and Miss Hall's confession. Furthermore, I've finished collecting all the evidence necessary. For your own PSC hearing, Prosecutor Edgeworth.
What?
How can you say something like that so casually?
Miles, you know you're always welcome to join the Edgeworth law offices. Judge Courtney, I'd like to ask that you refrain from making such needless remarks.
I understand. Well, regardless. There's no need to investigate any further.
Fuck. I'll depress you. I was saying that there's nothing left for us to investigate.
We've already exhausted all ends in regards to the evidence. This court will accept no further deliberations. Will PSC be like Justin Caught gay, bisexual the best, Miles work with, gay party, Sebastian's the best, also Courtney said something, but oh well. I was too distracted by the work PIC. Banger retweet.
Hold it, there's still a need for further investigation.
You didn't even listen to what I had to say. If you wish to halt my verdict, please do so with evidence. That is, if there is any evidence that requires further deliberation. Let me tweet it? Oh, absolutely do. That's amazing.
I cannot allow this case around here.
There's still something that needs to be cleared up.
Looks like I'll have to show Judge Courtney something to convince her.
I also was not paying attention, so I don't know what this is. I acknowledge that Prosecutor Von Karma fabricated the information. He successfully convicted Mr. Master. I believe the true culprit was Miss Curator herself. She even attempted to murder Gustavia. We already have ample evidence. I don't think that's true. Is it this one? Tweeted mine too. Two absolute bangers just now. Ample evidence. Is that true? We don't have ample evidence, right? Do we? We might. Fingerprints. Well. The true culprit was Ms. Curator herself. Even attempted to murder Mr. Gustavia today in order to pin the blame on him. We already have ample evidence for both the IS-7 incident and today's poison gas incident. No need to investigate. A second banger tweet just hit the Grand Tower. Ample evidence. Down, down, down.
Well look, he has a child, and then no longer has a child. I don't fucking know.
The blood. What about the rock salt lamp? Butter of the murder weapon. Stemmed of his blood. Alright, that's about it.
That's chocolates. I don't
know if these chocolates. Another Ace Attorneys at the Walk Tower, sir. Liquid analysis. Analysis result of the liquid from the melted Gemini sculpture. Traces of salt, sugar, and blood detected. The sugar matches the light blue liquid found in Dover's room 18 years ago. The sugar found in the fountain also appears to have the same composition. Do. Woke Ace Attorney be like Ace Attorney. That's so true, actually. Ace Attorney is so woke. Them asexuals being lawyers. That is so woke. Why is that stepladder broke? Oh, I guess it fell when Gustavia got poisoned. So it's not that statement. Successfully convicted, not that statement. I believe the true culprit was her. Not that statement, I don't think. Conservative Ace Attorney be like Aloe Attorney. No, they don't use actual words. It would just be normal attorney.
My pronouns are normal.
She even attempted to murder Mr. Gustavia.
I don't know what I'm doing, Courtney. Courtney, I'm stuck.
I thought the music stopped for a moment. I got excited. Also, I'm in the wrong statement. Let me save on this statement, because I think this is the statement. Unless it's the next statement over, because I don't think it's this.
Bluffing.
We already have ample evidence. I think we need to prove that there's something missing. So I think it actually is the next statement over. have ample evidence. I already presented this in the ample evidence. I don't know, chocolates. I didn't think it was gonna be that. Ample evidence. Ample evidence. Ample evidence, ample evidence, ample... Kid's favourite teapot. That's lovely. Ample evidence. Let's read through the statute of limitations, by the way, because I know that that first part's important, but I don't know if there's anything else that we need to know. If the suspect flees to or lives in a foreign country, time limits on hold for the suspect to return, yeah. And then, if possible, accomplices are on trial, the countdown is stopped until the verdict is reached, then resumes. Okay. If charges are pressed to demand compensation, the statute is frozen for the length of that procedure. I don't think those two are gonna be... maybe, I don't know. Oh golly, I'm actually stuck. Oh no, it's just dawning on me, I'm stuck. Oh gee, I don't even remember what I presented at this point. Oh no, this is bad. I didn't present that there? What? I could have sworn that was one of the first things I did, right? Maybe not. Oh. Did I not? Oh, it might have been on the other statement. I might have presented it there accidentally, or on purpose. Ooh. Well, anyway.
There's still one piece of evidence from the IS-7 incident that remains unsettled. Take a look at this photograph.
This is
the forensic results from the Gemini sculpture that melted in the Winter Palace. According to the results of the analysis, traces of someone's blood were found. Who does this blood belong to? Until we know the answer, this case is still open.
oh, there was blood mixed in with the remains of the Gemini sculpture. I heard nothing of this from Sebastian.
This is a report from Detective Gumshoe. I'd planned to tell Mr. DeBest myself.
So even though you had no investigative authority, you still did as you please. I shall report everything that transpired today to the PIC.
The work mob. I will speak my truth despite you. I will not avert my eyes from the truth, nor shall I overlook the mistakes of the past. If you wish to report my actions to the PIC, be my guest. But in exchange, I want you to let me investigate this case to the very end.
It is not my place to decide such things. I must ask that you check with Sebastian regarding this matter. Hey, good news, you guys! Hey, here he is! He's all better. Thanks to our early detection, Mr. Gustavia's life was saved.
Mr. Gustavia?
So, he's alive.
What up? Oh, the girls helped me back to life. Would you be the ones who saved my life? Hey, Mr. Gustavia. You are Sir Assistant, are you not? You've grown so big this time. This one is your assistant then?
No. I'm... Look at him, he's just fucking absolutely giggling. Look at that man, he is fucking having a blast.
He's an assistant candidate and Gregor Edgeworth's son. I'm Miles Edgeworth, a prosecutor.
Gustavia's theme certified banger, absolutely certified by professionals.
What a twist of fate. I am in your debt. It is thanks to you that I have completely recovered. There's no need for thanks. Since you're alive, we can reach the truth behind the incident 18 years ago. What do you speak of?
For the longest time I somehow gaslighted myself into believing Master's crotch art is Gustavia's because I wanted him so bad I was starving for new art. It can be if you want, you know? Any crotch can be anyone. I don't know where I was going with that.
Well, you're unconscious. The truth has started to come to light. You may be Isaac Dover's murderer. Ugh.
What? Really?
Ms. Hall was looking for the criminal behind the events of 18 years ago. That's why she set up the poison gas in the Pisces case. Mr. Gustavia, the events of the incident 18 years ago. Tell us what really happened.
Since you're alive, tells himself to avoid the truth. But suicide's off the table.
So, you wish to remain silent? Nah, I think he's just meditating.
He can sleep standing up? What a useful skill to have!
Meditation is different from sleeping, though. Mr. Gustavia, please tell us what you did 18 years ago. I'm the criminal because I fell for a trap. That's not a very funny joke. I'm a victim, not a culprit.
Mr. Gustavia, it has not yet been made clear whether or not you are the criminal. Gustavia won the I don't give a fuck war. This is only their baseless speculation. Do not concern yourself with the drivel of a prosecutor without jurisdiction.
No. At least there is one person here who understands.
My name is Justine Courtney. I am a judge. If you would like, I would be happy to assist you. Let us show Prosecutor Edgeworth the truth of 18 years ago.
You are a biased judge. Understood. I shall prove my innocence to you, Sir Prosecutor. Judge Courtney, is that your answer? Do you intend to bury the truth of the I-7 incident before it can be brought to light?
I merely believe in the judgments of the goddess of law.
Ultimately, those who render judgment are only human. As long as humans control the law, there's no guarantee that every verdict is correct. If you're going to help conceal the truth, I will not hold back.
I'm looking forward to it. Gustavia really had a mad gay situationship and it caused everything. It did cause everything, just this absolutely homosexual behavior.
Lady Justine, what should I do now?
You're being suspected because you set off the poison gas. Can you tell us the reason? Why you opened the Pisces case?
Understood. I came to see Sir Dover's works from 18 years ago. However, I accidentally entered the museum a half hour before it opened. Miss Hall, there was nobody at the entrance, correct?
Since I thought the criminal from 18 years ago might be coming, I had no security guards in place. I didn't even lock the doors. I was very busy with opening preparations, so there was nobody on the first floor. In addition, I locked every palace door aside from the autumn one.
I see. This must have been done in order to lure the criminal to the Autumn Palace. Which is why I ended up entering the Autumn Palace.
It's already suspicious that he snuck into the museum in the first place. The gallery should remain silent. Unless you have evidence that can prove his testimony false, I will not allow any objections. Gallery? This isn't even a courtroom. Finally someone has pointed it out. Now then, why did you open the Pisces case?
I wish to view Sir Dover's handiwork up close. The Gemini sculpture. No, it was actually the Pisces, wasn't it? The lid had been frozen shut, so I borrowed Burnout to open it. But I used my Burnout Twitter account to say slurs. I do not like the woke PIC. even though they are helping me now. But as soon as I opened the lid, poison gas began pouring out.
That's quite a convenient testimony.
It sounds like a total lie, doesn't it? There are parts of Mr. Gustavia's testimony that I have issues with as well. However, there's no evidence to disprove it. But that's...
Would it not make sense for suspicion to fall on Lady Catherine before myself? She may have intended to release the poison gas haphazardly.
Objection.
Gustavia will refrain from homophobia until the woke PIC proves my innocence, then going back to it.
I love everybody. We love everybody here. We love everybody. I'm not homophobic, but once the woke PIC is gone, I will be very homophobic.
You got such a big ass head, that is very true.
Kate turned on the sprinklers as soon as the gas was released. She was specifically targeting the person who triggered the trap. Mr. Gustavia, you were her only target. You are willing to accept the words of this criminal as the truth. Miss Hall must atone for her crimes. However, the same can be said for the criminal from 18 years ago. Sir Prosecutor, it seems you wish to suspect me to the bitter end. However, I had more reason to suspect, to murder Sir Dover. If there is no evidence to suggest that I killed him, you cannot suspect me.
Mr. Edgeworth,
She does have a big ass head, holy heck.
can you prove that Mr. Gustavia is the criminal?
All we know for sure is that Mr. Gustavia fell a victim to the poison gas. No matter how strange his behavior was, it won't prove he committed the murder.
But that's... Mr. Shields, is there nothing we can do?
Well, if there isn't any evidence, we should try reorganizing the facts. If Mr. Gustavia was the one who killed Mr. Dover, there must have been a motive. Motive? Mr. Gustavia himself is denying that such a motive exists. It's not easy to take another person's life. 18 years ago, your old man also discussed motive with Prosecutor Von Karma. Of course he did. You claim the collaboration is irrelevant. If Mr. Gustavia and Mr. Dover's relationship had turned sour, it could serve as a motive for murder. We couldn't talk with Mr. Gustavia 18 years ago, but this time things are different. If we connect everything we've learned so far, the truth might be revealed. Yes, I suppose so. It seems I must re-examine the information from 18 years ago. I must recall all the details that have remained unexplained.
So, the glove finger marks on the picture frame was your doing?
No, it wasn't. You missed that part out where I said no, it wasn't.
Delisha denied leaving the finger marks on the frame. If they were left by Mr. Gustavia, he may have been trying to view the angel's recipe.
Muncher Master asked me to change the film and the camera. It seemed the film he prepared in advance wasn't enough.
There wasn't enough film.
It seems the number of photos he took didn't match up with the amount of film remaining. Well, he told me himself it might have been just a mistake, though.
The information my father collected 18 years ago was certainly not for naught. If there's no evidence, then I shall use logic to reveal the truth. So, what's this? I'm guessing it's just bump, bump, bump. Mr. Gustavia, you collaborated with the victim, Isaac Dover, to create your desserts, didn't you? Oh, it seems you know about my secret. Mr. Shields told me about it. Mr. Dover handled the design, while you were in charge of the taste. Is that correct? Gay rights and gay wrongs. That's Gustavia right now.
No, back then my training had been insufficient.
Oh no, connecting to chat. Is streamed on? I don't think so. No. No, it's just my computer being weird. It seems we worked together through the semi-finals, but not during the finals.
Why is that?
We both wish to compete in the finals against Sir Master on our own merits.
Objection!
You must have also helped with Isaac Dover's dessert, even during the finals.
No, what makes you able to declare something like that?
Didn't you tell Prosecutor Von Karma about it yourself, 18 years ago? That you cooperated until the day before the finals. The sculptures in Mr. Dover's room were all made out of sherbet. Such an amount would most likely need to be left overnight to freeze, which means Mr. Gustavia prepared Mr. Dover's sherbet in advance the day before.
That's right. So you realize Gustavia's cooperation ended the day before the finals.
Then why did Mr. Dover not help Mr. Gustavia in return?
The views of the dead are of no concern to me.
Why did Isaac Dover not help you in return?
No,
If there's a reason why your partnership with Isaac Dover broke down, partner, that would be a motive for murder.
oh, that could be a possibility. However, Sir Dover and I ended our partnership peacefully.
A peaceful breakup? That's hard to imagine. Did they have a messy breakup? I assume it was just a divorce case, actually. We're literally just going through a divorce case.
Not to mention, it's absurd to think that I killed Sir Dover in Mr. Master's room. I couldn't have killed Sir Dover while Mr. Master was also there, making his desserts.
But... oh, that's actually kind of fair, isn't it? Because Master was in there, and then he went to Gustavia's room, and that's when the body was discovered while he was in Gustavia's room, so Gustavia didn't really have an opportunity. But we're probably going to prove how, just now.
In other words, there is no way I could have committed murder.
That's not true. If there was a moment when Mr. Master was absent from the room, I could prove that it was possible for Mr. Gustavia to commit the murder. Back to logic.
Heck. Golly. I'm a golly. I'm a golly heck. But that can't be it. I don't know why that's that. But... he went to Gustavia's room gay. Why are you as a man going to another man's room? Yeah, well... What could you possibly... what business could you possibly have in another man's room, You as a man? Going into a man's room? Gay.
If he had photographed the contents of the angel's recipe, he wouldn't need to steal it. Perhaps Mr. Gustavia used Mr. Master's camera to take the pictures.
If he'd stolen the actual recipe book, the police would have found out.
I see. Pictures, eh? The problem is the time at which he entered Mr. Master's room. Mr. Gustavia could have moved around freely during the afternoon tea, right? Because it seems both him and Mr. Dover did not participate in the afternoon tea.
Oh, alright, and there it is. The game called their breakup, they knew what they were doing. Yeah, the people who were translating this were like, oh, come on. Come on, there you go, there you go. Let's just put that in there, breakup, there we go, there you go.
If I remember correctly, the only time we can prove that Dover was still alive is...
The victim was not seen, as he stayed locked up in his room after the contest had begun. The only one who could have unlocked the locked rooms was Jeff Master.
Was Master's desserts all that you ate?
Actually, no. After the afternoon tea, I also ate Icy's desserts. Right, and he was gone. He had to write his room table covered in yaoi cocaine.
After the contest began, Isaac Dover was locked up in his room. If we assume he was killed at some point before Delicia snuck into his room, then there's a high chance that he was killed before the afternoon tea was over.
Yeah, we blend rotation.
Isaac Dover was alive up until the afternoon tea began. Ergo, that is the only time when Gustavia could have killed Dover.
Prosecutor Edgeworth, you've just been sitting there thinking for a very, very long time. Are you okay?
Sorry, but I'm far from satisfied. Because I'm finally starting to see the truth behind this case.
Are you saying you've found some evidence to show us that truth?
No, there's no need to present any evidence, since we can just have Mr. Gustavia tell us the truth.
Ah, so this is what you were... So this is where you used that, right?
Indeed, that in quotation marks, so you know that it's something, but we're not telling you because it's that man, that guy. Indeed, Mr. Gustavia, there's one thing I need you to tell me.
No.
I said, Mr. Gustavia, there's one thing I want you to tell me.
Oh, what is it?
He knows just like me. During the finals of the contest, you made your desserts on your own.
I wanted to compete for the title of world's greatest pastry chef on my own merits.
If that was truly the case, you would have competed on your own merits from the start. I want you to tell me why it was necessary for you to cooperate with Isaac Dover. Logic chess? Oh my goodness, checkmate. During the contest 18 years ago, Mr. Gustavi collaborated with Mr. Dover. I wonder, what made them decide to cooperate in the first place? That's what I need to draw out from him, but...
If I was Gustavia, I'd just walk out. What are they gonna do? That's a fair point. He's not like... He doesn't really... He can just leave. There's no evidence on him. He can just say, oh, I don't know what happened, bye.
Oh wow, that's a lot. It seems he pretends to meditate when things aren't going his way. First I'll ask about why he collaborates.
So I have to... When he's meditating, I don't pursue.
The truth has been hidden for 18 years. That ends today.
Why'd you collaborate?
Why did you decide to collaborate with Isaac Dover?
Sir Dover and I were already acquaintances, even before the contest began. Since he was interested in the contest, we simply decided to enter it together.
Joining forces with a sculptor? You weren't confident in your own abilities.
No, you know nothing about me. We wanted to make great works together.
I'm confused. So he's not meditating. Sorry.
I'll reveal all your lies for what they are!
Okay, so no, when he's meditating, that's when I strike.
So Dover's son and my own attended the same elementary school. We all got along well from the start.
Really? So, were you going to share the title of world's greatest pastry chef together?
No.
No, wait. Yeah, okay.
As expected, he pretends to meditate when things aren't going his way. Mr. Dover was a sculptor. I doubt he had any interest in the title of the world's greatest pastry chef. In that case, where did his true goal lie?
Another case with rights related to extraterritoriality, if I remember correctly. I was thinking it was this one. I love extraterritorial rights.
Indeed, my goal was title of the world's greatest pastry chef. However, Sir Dover's goal was the grand prize, the angel's recipe.
I see. You cooperated because your interests were aligned. But there must have been a reason why your partnership soured. Partners.
Sir Prosecutor, I am the victim of a poisoning. If you're going to suspect me in this manner, perhaps I'd better return to the infirmary.
Yeah, exactly. He can just leave. He's the victim.
Oh, wait a moment.
In that case, you should end things soon. I am not a patient man.
It seems he's trying to leave. I can't let that happen. He's still hiding something. Next, I should ask him about his true goal. I'm rejuvenated. I need to keep the pressure on him, while being cautious of the time.
He's not a patient, but he's going to the infirmary, sus.
He's not a patient man, but that doesn't make sense. Did you want to appear on Mr. Master's show?
I believe it was called Shake and Bake, was it not?
I'm pretty sure it's called Piece of Cake.
Would you really want to see me dance about while I make desserts?
No, that probably wouldn't be too popular with the kids either.
What are you talking about? He's lovely.
Exactly. I know my limitations. I have no interest in that kind of theatrical tomfoolery.
Oh my god, Thomas Foolery?
Sir Prosecutor, you should think about who you're talking to before asking questions.
Yeah, sorry. I should refrain from making unnecessary statements.
What? No! No way! Quick as over!
Wait, no. My time goes down? I didn't know that was a possibility. I just wanted to click shit. The time limit always stressed me out. Yeah, even though it like never gets below half, it's always terrifying. Why does Gustavi want to be in it? He already has the biggest piece of cake. That's so true. I don't know why I asked that because I don't know why I asked him because it's so obvious that, you know, he doesn't need to be on the show.
Didn't you have another girl besides the title? The title alone doesn't seem to have much value.
No! How dare the likes of you insult the title of a confectionery artist? My only goal was the title itself. I had no interest in anything else. My dream was to become the world's greatest pastry chef.
It would be impossible with your skills, you're a bitch.
18 years ago I was lacking in design sense. However, things are different now.
Oh, I was saying you have improved at your craft.
Exactly, for I have trained at the Republic of Zingfa. Yes, at the time I also studied Mr. Master's works. I would often watch his show with my son.
So, you were studying Mr. Master's work to improve your own skills. If you had his recipes, perhaps it would have been easier for you to become the world's greatest.
Perhaps. For pastry chefs, Sir Master's recipes were worth their weight in gold.
If becoming the world's greatest pastry chef was your goal, you should have also been interested in the grand prize, the angel's recipe.
The recipes of the world's greatest pastry chef. I would be lying if I said that I wasn't interested. However, I wouldn't think that simply being interested would be a problem.
I wonder about that. The angel's recipe's true nature was not for making desserts, but cures. And all of the contest participants should have been aware of that.
No.
Looks like I'm getting close. He isn't meditating anymore. Now to slowly but surely drive him into a corner.
He's not meditating anymore?
Next, I'll ask what he planned to use the recipe book for. The angel's recipe. Did you know its true value?
Silly question. It contains Sir Master's best dessert recipes. Any pastry chef worth their salt would want it.
Seems I don't have enough clues, sorry.
Why are you, as a man, dragging another man into a corner? Gay.
Did you intend to win the angel's recipe and use it to make desserts?
Of course. If I obtained the angel's recipe, I was going to use it in my training.
I hear the angel's recipe was worth a lot of money.
No. I don't know the exact details, but that recipe book was much too valuable to be sold.
Oh. He is meditating, so Miles just said that for shits and giggles.
You seem to know quite a lot about the angel's recipe.
It will explain to all the contest participants at the beginning of the contest.
In that case, you must know about the recipe book's true nature. That it was not a recipe book for desserts at all.
Impressive, Sir Prosecutor. So you know the true nature of the angel's recipe. The angel's recipe. Some have called it the ultimate recipe book. It contained formulas for new medicines that were not yet on the market.
He knew the recipes were actually formulas for new medicines. This could be a useful clue. Looks like that clue will come in handy. You may have studied design in Zhengfa. However, your skills in lying could use more work. You just said earlier that the angel's recipe contained formulas for medicines. You weren't interested in desserts. You wanted the medicine formulas.
You wanted to become a pharmacist.
Now, why would a pastry chef such as yourself be so interested in medicine? Perhaps what you were really after was the information about, bit my tongue, the information about the new medicine.
I've underestimated you, Sir Prosecutor. Yes, my goal was more than just the title of the world's greatest pastry chef. At the time, my son was ill. I needed the recipe for the medicine.
Your son was ill. Tell me more about that.
To protect my son's honor, I can say no more.
Judging by the worried look on his face, I must have struck a nerve. Next, I need him to tell me more about his son's illness. This is it. This will be my final move of the game. What was the name of your son's illness?
Sir Prosecutor, how insensitive of you. My son was seriously ill. I will not be discussing this with the likes of you.
Am I gonna lose time? No.
Alright, I have clues. Okay, a few. That lie is so sick, worst dad ever. Yeah, that lie is like, oh, okay then. Oh. Maybe I should try another line of attack.
Did the angel's recipe have the only cure?
Yes, though the medicine is being sold everywhere now. At the time, the recipe book was my one and only option. That's why I continued making my desserts, without joining the others for tea time.
So, you weren't interested in what Mr. Master was making? You sure seem confident in your chances of winning.
I couldn't be bothered to pay attention to the other contestants' desserts.
What was your son like? Twink.
My condition may be worsening. I should get back to the infirmary.
What? No. Fuck you. Imagine being a strange son after like 18 years and he's a twink clown. Oh, sweating. I didn't realize he was sweating. I'm silly. That's why. I didn't notice he was sweating. I thought he was just sat there, so I was like, what?
You just said earlier that you studied Mr. Master's works. In addition, if your goal was to win the contest in order to get the medicine formula, you must have been curious about the other contestants' entries as well.
There was time to sample the other desserts during the contest, but none of their entries had any flavor.
Oh.
So I didn't want to eat any of it. I suspect I may have been a bit nervous as well.
So everything he ate tasted flavorless. This could be a useful clue.
I'm just gonna press this one even though I don't know if we need it.
What kind of person was your son?
Oh, my boy! He loved the desserts I made.
Did you enter the contest solely for your son?
Sir Prosecutor, you could never understand the feelings a father has for his son. I wanted nothing more than to cure my boy's illness.
I doubt that.
Do you think if Sam wasn't neglected it wouldn't have been a twink? I think he's gotta be a twink in every timeline, come on.
Until the semifinals, my son would always drop by the contest venue to play.
Is that so? Couldn't he get in your way? I doubt you had time to care for your son while you were challenging Mr. Master.
That may be so, but I wanted to grant my son's wish. He said he always wanted to be the first to eat my desserts.
How about your son? If he was so sick, wouldn't it be difficult for him to come and play with you?
Oh, my son's illness, it wasn't life-threatening.
That might serve as a clue. What was the name of your son's illness?
Seriously ill, and then he's like, no.
But the illness wasn't life-threatening. You told me your son's illness was not life-threatening. Is there really a need to be so secretive about it?
It was enough to keep him from living a normal life.
That must have been difficult for your son.
I tried everything I could to cure his illness. It wasn't fair for the poor boy. He could never taste the desserts he loved so much.
Really? Couldn't taste? Weird. Was he too fat? What the fuck, Edgeworth?
The angel's recipe contains a cure for a certain illness. A remedy that could also cure Mr. Master's taste disorder.
Doomed by the narrative twinkness, his son was ill, homosexuality.
My son was ill with the gay. He was so gay. I had to cure him with Angel's recipe. It had cure for homosexuality.
Gustavia's so sick and twisted for this. Yeah, he doesn't even, he's homophobic. Actually, no, are we, I'm getting confused. Edgeworth's homophobic too. Woke PIC, all that. And then Gustavio's the one who was ill is so funny because now I can't help but think that he's talking about himself like that. The poor boy didn't deserve it and he was the boy.
The poor boy had such a hard time, you know. What? He had it too.
He had it too. I see. So your son suffers from a taste disorder?
Oh, I didn't think you'd figure it out so quickly.
You told me. In order to cure your son's taste disorder, you needed the recipe book. Wasn't that your true goal?
It is as you say.
Based on how he's acted up until now, it appears he's still hiding something. Looks like that clue will come in handy. Being unable to taste anything, regardless of what you eat. Such a bitter illness. That reminds me, didn't you say something similar earlier? None of their entries had any flavor, so I didn't feel like eating any of it, wasn't it? Perhaps your son wasn't the only one who suffered from a taste disorder. Ugh. Maybe he had long COVID. It's hard to imagine being a successful pastry chef without a sense of taste. Perhaps what you really wanted was to cure yourself.
No, that's completely ludicrous. 18 years ago I made those desserts all by myself.
What? It seems you've caught yourself in a contradiction. Didn't you cooperate with Isaac Dover in the contest? You can hardly say you made the desserts all by yourself. You must take great pride in your abilities as a pastry chef, but not pride in your son's homosexuality. But to betray your pride and not accept your son for being gay. You did it all to cure your own disease.
Well done, Sir Prosecutor. It's as you say, the one with the taste disorder is not my son.
He betrayed pride because he's not woke.
I do not like the woke PIC. They are shoving this pride down our throats. It is I. No one knew. I have kept it a secret for 18 years.
It doesn't matter how long a secret is kept. If you lie before me, I will expose it. Jane Gustavia and Isaac Debo are both trying to obtain the recipes for the new medicines.
Why are you as a man cooperating with another man gay?
Gustavia to cure his condition, and Dover most likely to sell the recipe book for money. For this reason, they entered the contest as a collaborative effort. And with that... checkmate!
Why do you say the checkmate? We are not playing chess. What is this title on the screen? Chess? I don't even know how to play chess. What are you talking about? I've never even played chess. I don't understand. As you say, I developed a taste disorder 18 years ago.
Taste disorder?
It was a severe disorder. I was unable to discern any flavor at all. It's the one illness a pastry chef dreads above all.
His symptoms sound a bit different from Mr. Master's taste disorder. Mr. Master's condition is known as hypogeusia. It simply causes a decreased sensitivity to certain specific flavors.
I'm sure it has caused Mr. Master much pain too. It was Sir Master, but oh well.
The thought of Logic Chess Complete appearing above Miles every time he finishes Logic Chess and others can see it too is so funny. It says checkmate and then the fucking text appears above his head like a username in a video game.
In order to cure your taste disorder, you would need Mr. Master's Angel's recipe. And that's why you entered the contest. Am I correct?
That was one of my goals, but I still had my sights set on the world title of World's Greatest. When it comes to making desserts, I won't lose to anyone. Even without the ability to taste, I still have the utmost confidence in my flavors.
Oh? So, I presume you also prepared your dessert in the finals with the intent to win.
That goes without saying.
According to what Mr. Shields told us earlier, the evaluation of Mr. Gustavi's entry was... Up until the semi-finals, Mr. Gustavia's flavors and design were to my liking. Unfortunately, both the taste and appearance of his finals entry left much to be desired. It seems the dessert you made for the finals was not rated highly in regards to flavor.
Oh.
Mr. Gustavia, you will tell us about how you made your dessert during the finals.
Very well. It seems I must teach you upstarts a lesson. So Dover and I cooperated until the finals. I handled the flavor. He was in charge of the design. However, for the finals, I wanted to challenge Sir Master with my own skills. I helped Sir Dover make his entry, but I made mine completely on my own. If the flavor of my entry wasn't good enough, my own lack of training was to blame. How about that, Sir Prosecutor? This is the truth of 18 years ago.
Oh, I can't find any contradictions in his testimony. Well, of course he isn't gonna fess up that easily. This guy's been on the run for 18 years after all. Guess we'll just have to keep on pressing him until he breaks, eh? Yes.
So Dover and I cooperated until the finals. I handled flavor, he was in charge of design.
Hold it.
Hello, I'm Guru from Despicable Me. My my boy, is very sick. So I'm going to steal the the angel's recipe, so that he can be better.
So Mr. Dover took care of the design while you handled the flavor.
So Dover was a sculptor by trade. His sense of design was splendid. But he was just an amateur chef. We combined our strengths by working together.
You never did have much design sense, did you, Mr. Gustavia?
No.
He was trying to find the cure for homosexuality, yeah. He wanted to end wokeness. Oh, look at him! He's doing stuff!
I'm turning my moon into a phoenix. What do you think of this?
That's the symbol of Zengfa. Thanks. Wow, a phoenix! That's really good. Whoa, you really have improved these past 18 years.
Ah, ha, ha, ha. Behold the fruits of my 18 years of training. I've put my life and limb on the line for my dessert skills. It's true that I cooperated with Sir Dover 18 years ago, up until the finals.
A Lang Phoenix reference?
However, for the finals I wanted to challenge Sir Master with my own skills.
Hold it.
So, you were really serious about the title of world's greatest pastry chef?
Yes, confectionery is my life. Naturally, I wanted to be the world's greatest. But back then, I was still inexperienced, and I was no match for the better chef.
But your goal was also to obtain the angel's recipe, right? Wouldn't the recipe book be worth more to you than the title? I will not stand by and watch you badger a convalescent man like this. Scadman's world. My gavel shall protect you, Mr. Gustavia. Gah! I realize he's still recuperating, but... Mr. Gustavia, do not yield to this devilish prosecutor. Now then, please continue with your testimony.
I helped Sir Dover make his entry, but I made mine completely on my own.
So, you helped Mr. Dover with his dessert, but made yours all by yourself. I keep yawning now. No matter how you look at it, this seems odd. Why did Mr. Dover assist you?
It matters not how it seems, it's the truth. I do not know what Sir Dover was thinking.
It's hard to prove if someone's lying about something that happened 18 years ago. Hey Kay, does your secret weapon also work as a lie detector? If it did, I'd have already stolen Mr. Edgeworth's spotlight. There's no need for that. I will expose this man's lies myself. So funny how Miles and Justine act like a divorced couple. I'm so... Maybe there's an explanation, but Justine fucking hates Miles so much. Like, oh my god. Jane Gustavia, please continue with your testimony.
If the flavor of my entry wasn't good enough, my own lack of training was to blame.
Up until the finals, I heard that you received high praise for the flavor of your dessert.
I keep yawning.
Was there some sort of accident during the finals?
No, nothing of the sort. I simply was unable to taste my work due to taste disorder. My intuition must have been off. That's all.
Then was your intuition fine while making Mr. Dover's entry? How could there be such a huge difference between the finals and the previous day?
Yeah.
We're not getting anywhere at this rate.
Should I change the topic?
About Mr. Dover.
You knew Mr. Dover before you entered the contest, right?
Yes, I knew him well. Sildover's son and my own attended the same elementary school.
Then it wasn't a coincidence that you both participated in the contest.
I heard about the contest, so I made the suggestion to Sir Dover. He always wanted money for his sculpting business.
If I recall, Mr. Dover was a greedy man who was always after more than money.
Ew, so the Angel's recipes really weren't that much.
Okay, the recipe book was certainly valuable 18 years ago, but nowadays most of the medicines it contained are available commercially.
Nice. Ah, that's a shame.
In the end, it seems that each of the contestants had the Angel's recipe as their goal. All those unanswered questions 18 years ago. I should already have the keys I need to unravel them.
Divorce speedrun.
I must recall all the information that Mr. Shields and my father gathered.
Do 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 do. Mr. Dover and my...
That seems like a good statement. I don't see any issues. They did indeed attend the same elementary school. I need to know about Dover, not about your sons. Oh, look at them.
Helen, here, there.
Alright, let's ask about the other thing then. Because they did attend the same elementary school, that's true.
Da da da.
Da da da.
Da da da.
Da da.
So, you're sure there wasn't anything different between the semi-finals and the finals?
Yes, that's right. Aside from not cooperating with Sir Dover, the finals weren't much different from the semifinals.
They weren't much different. I couldn't care to look before I presented it. I might as well just present it, you know? Why not? Present first, think later. Da, da, da. Alright, let's actually think. There wasn't much different.
There was another difference between the semi-finals and finals. This photo depicts your son. We know he came to visit you up until the finals.
No, that is correct. What does that have to do with anything?
Your son, who always came to see you through the semi-finals, was not present for the finals. And then it was only in the finals that your flavor judged poorly. I don't believe this to be a mere coincidence. Your son's visits must have been very important to you, were they not?
A father can work miracles when his son is watching. With my son cheering me on, I was able to make the most delicious desserts.
Mr. Gustavus sure sounds like a good father, doesn't he?
He sure does, Kay. If what he's saying is the whole truth, one can say so. But just hearing his son's cheers wouldn't be enough to change the taste of his desserts. A confectioner, confident in his sense of taste, develops a taste disorder. it would have been difficult for him to maintain the taste of his desserts. Your son came to cheer you on. Was that really all he did?
You seem very doubtful, Sir Prosecutor. In that case, I'll turn this around and ask you. What else could my elementary school son have done besides cheer me on?
I'm sure your elementary school son would have remembered the taste of your desserts.
Of course! My son always loved my desserts.
In that case, he would have been able to taste test your desserts in your place.
Yo! What did you say? Fuck, I pressed Alt.
Earlier, you told us that you have a taste disorder.
No! I've never told this to anyone. Well done. As you say, I developed the taste disorder 18 years ago.
No one else knew about your taste disorder. If Mr. Dover had found out, he would have ended your partnership. After all, you're in charge of the flavor. He would have broken up with you. Your son didn't just cheer you on. He also helped you determine if your desserts tasted correct.
No! No!
Ah, I see. Mr. Dover's desserts was made the day before. Mr. Dover's dessert was made the day before, so it still tasted good.
What you're saying is quite amusing, Sir Prosecutor. You say that my elementary school son assisted me as a taste tester? You are insulting my pride. My homosexuality.
Your pride?
It's true. I had no sense of design 18 years ago. However, I won't lose to anyone when it comes to flavor. You claim I would cast aside my pride and rely on my son? Don't get carried away with your foolish conjecture, you upstart.
No. In that case, I'm sure your son can confirm if my theories mere conjecture.
Unfortunately for you, I no longer have a son.
What?
After my taste disorder was cured, I went to train in Zhengfa immediately.
Oh yeah. He keeps mentioning this. Was it Zhengfa that he went to, not Russia? Is he not Russian? Did I make that up? I might have made that up. It was Zhengfa.
Well, I've gone too far. I guess I'm Russian. During that time, I severed all ties with my son.
What?
Don't tell me. You would even abandon your own son. That's not all. Even today, the whereabouts of his son are still unknown. The police have been searching, but they haven't been able to find any traces of him.
You wish to confirm your theory? I welcome you to try. These are the only things that are important to me.
Bro, several ties with a 4-year-old. I'm crying. Yeah, he's like,
fuck my son, I love desserts. I want to be chef, I do not want a son. After regaining my sense of taste, my son no longer mattered.
damn. Order in the court. Mr. Gustavia's actions are certainly inhumane. However, we're not here to judge whether or not he's a good father. Prosecutor Edgeworth, I believe this is your loss.
After all, there's no evidence that left from 18 years ago that could prove your theories.
Yo. Mr. Edgeworth, is there nothing we can do? At this rate, we'll never find out the truth.
Detective Gumshoe, where are those results?
Hey, Bo. I wonder whose blood it could have been. I've asked forensics to look into it, sir.
Right, I leave it to you, Detective. I entrusted Detective Gumshoe with the last piece of evidence. If only I knew who that blood belonged to. Miles, there's still one thing that's bothering Uncle Ray. Was Mr. Gustavia's only reason for coming to the art gallery to check on the body? If he only wanted to confirm the body's presence, he wouldn't have needed to open the case. That's right, it's his blood, it's Gustavia's. Is there a way we can prove this? There is one way. We just need that evidence from Detective Gumshoe.
Prosecutor Edgeworth, what are you talking about?
Mr. Edward! Oh my god, it's me, Dick Gumshoe! Sorry to keep you waiting, sir!
Just the person I was talking about.
Oh my, where am I?
Detective Gumshoe, I trust you have the test results.
Oh my god, it's me! Of course, sir. I just got the report back from the lab.
Detective, please be silent. So, this is the evidence that Prosecutor Edgeworth was talking about. Huh? Hey, what's this? This is the first I've heard of it.
This was a request from me. I asked him to investigate a certain piece of evidence.
Why? Why is everyone always helping you out? I'm the one in charge of the crime scene.
Mr. DeBest, I apologize for taking matters into my own hands, but how about we hear his report first?
Sure.
Detective Gumshoe, what were the results?
Here's the report, sir. The traces of blood found in the Gemini sculpture belong to the victim of the poison gas, Dane Gustavia. What are you saying?
Good work, Detective Gumshoe. As I thought. My theory was correct.
Mr. Edgeworth, what do you mean? We too would like an explanation. What on earth does this blood prove? Didn't he say that he cut himself a lot when he was designing shit because he was so bad and that's why his suit was red?
This blood is something the culprit of the IS-7 incident tried to conceal.
It can't be. That's...
This blood was found inside the glass case of the Gemini sculpture. In other words, your blood was found alongside Mr. Dever's body.
Why would Mr. Gustavia's blood be in a place like that?
If you intend to remain silent, then I'll reveal the truth myself.
Or did Dover fight back?
In the Gemini case, aside from the blood, we also found traces of salt and sugar.
Salt and blood?
And only one of Mr. Dever's sherbet desserts tasted salty. Come to think of it, I remember Miss Delicious saying the same thing 18 years ago.
Thanks for this flashback, I really needed it. Oh yeah, see, his sherbet was most delicious.
Really?
Really? I wish I could have eaten some too. But there was one piece that was so salty I couldn't eat it.
Salty?
It's right here in this photo. It was part of that lyre.
That's the lyre from the Gemini constellation. Exactly. For some reason, salt had been mixed into the lyre. No other traces of salt were found in Dover's room.
In that case, please explain. Where did the salt detected in the lyre come from?
Well, it came from...
Salt.
Aha!
Nope. Rock salt lamp.
Take that!
But I don't think... No, it's gonna be the picture.
Take that!
This is the rock salt lamp used as the murder weapon in the I-7 incident.
I believe part of this rock salt lamp was mixed in with the sherbet from the lyre. At the time of the murder, there were 2 rock salt lamps in Mr. Master's room. One of those lamps took Mr. Dover's life. We know that Mr. Dover's blood was left behind on the murderous lamp. However, there were no traces of anyone's blood found at the crime scene, Mr. Master's room.
Because the killer disposed of all the dessert...
Sorry, I was thinking of Young Ray, because the killer disposed of all the desserts with traces of blood into the streams of water, right? No other traces of salt were found in Mr. Dover's room.
Ugh.
I was Quercus albaing, that's so fat. I love Quercus alba, he's so quirky.
Speaking of which, weren't the 2 rock salt lamps found in Miss Delicious's room also broken? It looks like both the lamps and the pillars are broken.
Both of the light bulbs are broken.
Maybe they were dropped in the floor.
We never did figure out why the other rock-salt lamp was broken. Maybe Mr. Gustavia's blood was on the other lamp.
Oh!
If your blood was found on the lamps at the crime scene, he would have been suspected. As the culprit, he would have needed to conceal all traces of your blood from the police.
Don't tell me he concealed it in the sherbet lyre.
Exactly. The rock-salt lamp and his blood were mixed into the sherbet lyre and hidden inside the glass case. Unlike the fountain's water, the sherbet desserts would not be analyzed right away. Perhaps he had planned to dispose of the sherbet when the opportunity presented itself.
Then, the reason Mr. Gustavia came to this gallery.
18 years ago, the body and the evidence pointing to the killer were both stolen. Even the killer could not have anticipated that. There was no way of knowing when the body and the evidence would be discovered. So, he planned to destroy the evidence before the Zodiac Art Gallery's grand opening. Then Gustavia, isn't it about time you confessed? You are the true culprit of the IS-7 incident.
Monsieur Gustavia, you're the reason Monsieur Master is.
Mr. Gustavia.
Could it be? After all this time, my crime is finally brought to light. The prosecutors and defense attorneys 18 years ago never even came close. Bravo, bravo! Well done, Sir Prosecutor!
So, you admit that you killed Mr. Dover?
It is true, I killed Isaac Dover. But he had only himself to blame.
What do you mean?
Dover and I worked together in order to win the contest. No matter who won, we agreed that we'd share the Angel's recipe. But on the day of the finals, he stabbed me in the back. Sir Dover, this isn't what we agreed to.
I'm sorry, Gustavia. The deal is off.
But I made your desserts for you. I'm the artisan who got this far.
And what of it? Can you prove that you assisted me in any way? I turned into Wendy Oldbag.
Dover, you were planning to betray me all along. Because of Dover's treachery, I was forced to make my finals entry on my own. It's just as Sir Prosecutor said, my son assisted me every day until the finals.
What about your pride as a confectionery artist?
A proud chef loses the ability to test his own creations. That's a feeling an upstart like you would never understand. Mastering the art of dessert making is my reason for being. It is my one and only pride.
Committing murder for the sake of pride. That's another feeling I will never understand.
I would. I'd commit murder for pride.
To say nothing of abandoning our own son. Such a thought disgusts me.
Before you judge me, first understand what happened 18 years ago. On the day of the finals, my son never came to assist me. Thinking back on it now, I suppose Dover had a hand in that as well.
Can't believe he abandoned his son to make cake. Best as fuck, honestly. Huh? What exactly happened to your son?
I do not know, but it no longer matters. Ever since that day, my son meant nothing to me. From what I hear, he is still missing.
That's awful. Giving up on him like that.
Without your son, you had no chance of winning, correct?
Yes, and since I was guaranteed to lose, I needed a failsafe. During the afternoon tea time, I made my way to Sir Master's room. I just needed to take a photo of the cure to my taste disorder. It would have all worked out. If only Dover hadn't interfered.
Oh fuck.
Ah, Gustavia. Trying to steal a picture of my prize, are you? That hardly seems sporting.
You!
Cure for taste disorders? You have a taste disorder, don't you? This is rich. A pastry chef you can't taste.
Dover, you!
Ah! Puny worm, you're in no position to oppose me.
Why you? When I attempted to hit Dover, he struck me and sent me flying. I crashed into one of the rock sword lamps, and that was when my blood stained on it.
So Mr. Dover wasn't the first one to be injured.
To conceal my blood, I shaved away part of the rock-salt limb and mixed it into the sherbet. After that, it became a part of the large sculpture.
So, that's how you try to erase your traces from the crime scene.
Dover tried to blackmail me by using his knowledge of my taste disorder. If I didn't want it to become public, I was to pay him a large sum.
So, that's the reason why you killed Isaac Dover.
Ah, ha, ha, exactly. What reason do I have to let those who obstruct me live? He was the one who drew first blood. I simply gave him his just desserts. Get it? It's a funny joke.
So that was his motive.
I carried the rock-salt lamp that poured my blood into Dover's room. Then I came up with a hiding place where it would not be easily found.
I get it. That room contained plenty of tools for sculpting sherbet.
Your deduction is spot on, Sir Attorney. It was the ideal place to shave away the rock salt. I then proceeded to coat the surface of the sherbet layer with vast amount of salty mixture.
But why? Why did you try to pin the crime on Munchausen Master?
Hold it! You are wrong to blame me for that, Lady Catherine. If not for your unnecessary meddling, Sir Master would never have been suspect. Why do you think I hid the murder weapon and fluorescent cloth in Lady Delicia's room?
There's only one reason why you place a murder weapon in someone else's room. You wanted to pin the crime on Delicia.
Me?
Yes, that is correct.
Dusty? Why me?
As one who sought to be the world's best confectioner, I greatly respected Sir Master. It was never my intention to cast suspicion on him, but an insolent woman who dared to sully the contest with fake desserts. I had no problem letting someone like you take the blame for the crime.
That makes me sad.
If you hadn't snacked on other people's desserts, the body would never have been found. It was when Sir Master would be judging Lady Delicia's room. That's when I finally saw an opportunity to freeze the body, but before I could move the body, Lady Catherine had already discovered it.
Why did you need to freeze Muncher Dover's body?
Why indeed?
Muncher Edgeworth, please tell us. Why would Muncher Gustavia have needed to freeze the body?
To create a fake crime scene?
The reason Mr. Gustavia froze the body, it was probably to create a fake crime scene.
Fake crime scene?
You're a moron.
Judge Courtney's icy glare is so cold I feel like I'm about to freeze.
Seems I was mistaken.
Muncher Edgeworth, please tell us the truth this time.
Well, for a late snack, exactly. I think it's the top one, so I'm gonna choose this.
Mr. Gustavia intended to freeze the body in order to throw off the time of death. If the time of death had coincided with the tea party,
Oh, never mind. I think I was correct. Fuck.
Mr. Gustavia would have been suspected.
That is correct. Preparations were necessary to freeze the body while I was preparing in Dover's room. I placed the body in the treasure chest in Sir Master's room. I could think of no better hiding place at the time. But thanks to that gluttonous pharmacist, the lid of the chest broke.
But why did you disguise him as an ice sculpture?
Once the body was discovered, there would be no time to throw off the time of death. To buy time, you needed to hide it someplace else.
How horrid. How could you hide Muncher Dover's body within one of his own works?
It all would have worked out if the body hadn't been discovered while it was in Sir Master's room. If everything had gone according to plan, Sir Master would never have been arrested.
So, because I discovered the body, it's my fault Muncher Master was...
Cade, don't take his words to heart. Even if suspicion hadn't fallen on Mr. Master, Miss Delicious would have taken the fall. No matter who he targeted, the one at fault here is Mr. Gustavia himself.
The detective in charge of the initial investigation was also a dunce. To think that he never reported the missing body to the prosecutor.
Prosecutor Von Kalm indicted Mr. Master without knowing the body had vanished. I see. That would explain why he looked so flustered at the crime scene. Although, it's something that would stand out if you read the official documents. Could someone have intentionally distorted the information?
This is so fucked up, yeah, damn. This is wild. This dude really is just like,
I do not care about anyone but my pastry.
I didn't read that. If he'd let one person be acquitted, he'd have a stain on his much-prided perfect record. That's why he concealed the fact that the body was hidden, and had Mr. Master declared guilty.
oh, what are you saying? For 18 years, that man's taken the blame for your crimes. Don't you feel anything at all?
I don't care what you say. What a monster. I'm arresting him right here, right now, sir. It's look who it is. Oh, fuck. Uh-oh. It's like that thing that was mentioned earlier.
I'm sorry, but I'm afraid that will be impossible.
Gustavia truly won the I don't give a fuck war. He really did.
Oh. So you figured it out. That's correct. You have no right to sentence me.
Oh, what? But the culprit's standing right in front of us.
Allow me to tell you the reason why you can't arrest me. Well, you can't arrest me. It has been 18 years since I murdered Dover.
Takeshi is okay, I'm gonna find you and shoot you in the back alley, not a single fuck in his brain.
It has been 18 years since I murdered Dover. The statute of limitations for murder in this country is 15 years, is it not? In other words, it's impossible for you to arrest me. I only confess my crime because the statute of limitations had expired.
The statute of limitations for murder is 15 years? Mr. Edgeworth, is there nothing we can do? My question is, because I'm pretty sure statute of limitations is a real thing. Why is that a thing? Like, that seems really, like, oh yeah, if you murdered someone 15 years ago and no one realized it, you're free to go. Like, that sounds insane, right? Am I crazy? Let's go extraterritorial rights part.
Do you remember Quercus Alba, Mr. Edgeworth?
Oh no, not again, not again. Let me switch my water because this has gone cold. No need for cold tap water. Ah, fuck, I need to open this. Ew. There we go. Mr. Edgeworth, is there nothing we can do?
No. As long as the statute of limitations remains, arresting him is impossible.
No way. My sincerest apologies, Prosecutor Edgeworth. I'm confused why Courtney's... Courtney, you know that this... I'm confused now. New crack ship, Quercus Gustavia. Gonna read Minnesota fix while watching the stream, that's fair. My sincerest apologies, Prosecutor Edgeworth. Neither Mr. Gustavia's testimony nor your logic can be taken as official legal proof. Like, Courtney's doing this as like a, haha, I got you. But like, at this point she knows that this is not justice, right? So like, what are you doing? I guess she's just a bitch? The verdict of the trial 18 years ago cannot be overturned.
What about the fact that Mr. Dover's body was hidden? Even if we can't arrest Mr. Gustavia, this should at least earn Mr. Master a retrial.
Really? I wonder about that. Overturning a verdict of the Goddess of Law is much harder than you think. But you know that the Goddess of Law was bullshit. You know that fucking Gustavia was the culprit.
Yeah, rude. Is the PIC trying to justify the verdict from 18 years ago?
How unfortunate, the prosecutor.
It's so cold. My sleeves are also cold because I haven't had my arms in my sleeves this whole stream, so my sleeves are really cold. Just had my jacket on without the sleeves.
Is there nothing I can do? Is there no way to continue pursuing Mr. Gustavia?
I have it on more like a blanket.
You what up?
First pick that appears is titled Super Prison Game Shooting Bullet Mayhem 2. Goodbye PIC badge. That's fucking awesome.
It has been 18 years since I murdered Dover.
No matter how many years have passed, your sin will never fade.
Sir Prosecutor, I'm sure you must have realized by now. There's no way you can arrest me. Arresting you would be a piece of cake for someone like Mr. Edgeworth.
Catherine Hall,
And Jeff Masters.
piece of cake. Just cut it there, I don't remember what comes afterwards.
Isn't that right, sir?
I don't think it will be that simple.
It's impossible for you to arrest me.
Quirkus, piss, homophobia, and cannibalism are in the tags? What the fuck? I need to read that. I'm sorry, I need to. I need to. What the hell?
The statute of limitations for murder in this country is 15 years, is it not?
It's possible that some of your actions 18 years ago were not affected by the statute.
Average investigations case.
It's been so long I've got nothing left to hide. Ask me anything you'd like.
Very well. Could you explain to me what you did during these past 18 years?
Certainly. After the contest, the medicine from the recipe book allowed me to fully cure my taste disorder. I then immediately headed to Zhengfa to train my design skills.
So, he wasn't seen ever since that case because he was in a foreign country.
Indeed, and I'm certain that I went abroad to train. About 1 year after that case, right before Sir Master's final trial began. And thanks to my training, I now confectioneer unparalleled in both taste and design.
You should not be proud of a position earned through the sacrifices of others.
You can't take a cake without breaking a few eggs. Sacrifices were necessary for my goal.
That's horrible.
Say what you will. The fact still remains that you cannot arrest me.
Apparently it's a sequel. It was posted this year too. I'm crying. There's also prison, transgender, gay, sex, farts, chess, and Shakespeare in the tags. What? That is crazy. Or gay sex, sorry, I read that as two separate things because it was on a different line, but what the heck?
The fact remains that you cannot arrest me.
Oh, I have to get more information out of Mr. Gustavia. Was there anything of note in his recent testimony? Could you please add the details about your training in Zhengfa to your testimony?
Certainly. Afterwards, I trained in Zhengfa to become the world's best confectioner.
You trained in Zhengfa.
After the incident 18 years ago, I left on a journey. I had already decided to hone my candy crafting skills in Zhengfa. Thanks to that, my design sense is incomparable to what it was in the past.
Whoa, that's awesome.
You may have it if you'd like.
Oh, sweet.
So he trained in Zhengfa.
The statute of limitations for murder in this country is 15 years, is it not?
Why did that? I was able to skip that. And I can't skip this. Did I already press this one? I'm gonna save just in case I already pressed it. Because I don't want to repeat. I just want to play around and have a good time. Okay, yeah. I already pressed that.
In other words, it's impossible for you to arrest me.
It's too early to say for sure that it's impossible.
Hold it! Just give it up, Sir Prosecutor. Just like your father before you. You cannot catch me.
No. It was because of Von Kalm's interference that my father couldn't find the truth. And now I'm about to lose the truth due to the statute of limitations.
Mr. Edgeworth, we can't give up now. Your father's last case. We have to see it through to the end.
Okay,
We can't let the culprit steal the truth. That's our job. As great thieves.
I'm not a great thief, but it is as you say. Dame Gustavia, I won't let you escape.
By all means, to try your best. I only confessed my crime because the statute of limitations had expired.
So, you confessed because you knew that the statute of limitations had already expired.
Of course! Who would confess otherwise? Well, I would have preferred to carry the truth of Dova's murder to my grave.
Why's that?
I am now the world's best confectioner. I wouldn't want to have such a trifling matter affect my pet as an artisan of desserts.
Trifling matter, damn, this dude sucks. I love him. So, you let Mr. Master take the fall while you protected your own position. You alone, I cannot forgive.
My path is for me to decide. I don't need your forgiveness.
Miles, it's been a long time since your Uncle Ray's been this angry. I feel the same way. I cannot allow this man to go unchecked. I can see how he was able to escape justice for 18 years.
Isn't there some way we can catch him?
Mr. Gustavi's an amateur at law, after all. He's no match for a realist attorney. I get it. I'm sure there's some flaw in his plan that we can exploit. An amateur at law, huh?
Da 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 da. Wait, I heard it in Zingva.
Ugh, 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 ugh.
Objection!
One of the conditions regarding the statute of limitations for murder is as follows. If the suspect flees to a foreign country, the time limit is on hold until the suspect returns. So the statute of limitations was suspended while you were overseas.
That's right. The statute of limitations stopped while you were training in Zangfa. Indeed, it is possible that the statute of limitations has not expired yet. Mr. Gustavia, please tell us how long you stayed in Zangfa.
No, it would be exactly 3 years.
That was so cool. Raymond said so much the music stopped.
Yeah.
3 years? Wait, let's calmly think this over. The case occurred 18 years ago. The statute of limitations is 15 years, and he was away for 3.
Come on, basic math. 15 plus 3 is exactly 18 years. I'm sure of it. Mr. Edgeworth, we did it. The statute of limitations hasn't expired yet.
No, no, no. 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 Exactly 18 years, you say? How amusing. No.
So he realized,
Oh, why are you laughing? The statute of limitations still applies.
okay, it's frustrating, but the case occurred in December. It's April now, which means, strictly speaking, the case occurred 18 years and 4 months ago. His stay abroad wasn't quite enough. We were just a few months short.
Not enough. That's...
Like I said, it's impossible for you to arrest me.
He must have known all about this when he confessed to his crime.
Prosecutor Edgeworth, it really is a shame. If it was just 1 year earlier, the statute of limitations would not have run out.
Oh,
Those who undermine the goddess of law's verdict must bear the burden of their crimes. It seems you are simply incapable.
no! No! This can't be the end.
So, Monsieur Gustavia really is beyond the law's reach.
Kate, what are you thinking?
Objection!
If you're thinking of taking matters into your own hands, I implore you to reconsider. There still might be a way to bring this man to justice.
What?
Miles, remember the facts of the case 18 years ago. Just as you were mistaken earlier, it seems Mr. Gustavius also overlooked one key detail. Overlooked. He wasn't present during Mr. Master's final trial, so he doesn't know the outcome of the trial. There may yet be a way for you to arrest him. Miles, look over that book on statute of limitations again.
Yeah, it had something to do with accomplices. Is it going to be that, like, if someone is found as an accomplice, then the suspect something? If possible accomplices are on trial, the countdown is stopped until the verdict is reached, then resumes.
Oh my god, that's funny. 17 years ago, Master was falsely declared guilty for a serious crime. Thanks to that verdict, we aren't out of ammunition just yet. Mr. Shields, you don't mean... Those who undermine the goddess of law's verdict must bear the burden of their crimes. I am Mr. Master's attorney. I can't use his suffering as a weapon in good conscience. For that reason, I leave the rest up to you. The trial my father and Von Karma battled over. Can I use that to arrest Mr. Gustavia? What should I do? Should I raise an objection? My father and Von Karma, their paths diverged. One revealed the truth, the other concealed it. The path that I chose is the one that reveals the truth.
I see no further reason to prolong this trial. I hereby find Gustavia not guilty.
We're not in court. Overruled. Gustavia will stand in court for his crimes.
Do you mean to say you have found a way to arrest Mr. Gustavia?
Exactly. I'll show Judge Courtney the evidence that will shatter the statute of limitations.
Does it say in here that he was an accomplice? Accomplice.
Take that!
The I-7 case file. Which page are you referring to?
Suspect data.
This game serves so much. It does.
The suspect data page. At the trial, Jeffrey Master was found guilty of being an accomplice to murder. And it took 1 year to arrive at this verdict.
Right, that is indeed true.
This book lists conditions in which the statute of limitations can be put on hold. The first, as I've said earlier, is if the suspect flees to a foreign country. But there's one more. If possible accomplices are on trial, the countdown is stopped until the verdict is reached.
What are you saying? Sir Master was found to be an accomplice?
That's right. Mr. Master was sentenced after he had left for your trip to Zhengfa. And he was found guilty not of being the culprit, but of being an accomplice. But it seems you didn't know that.
That's absurd! Sir Master never committed any crime to begin with. You should certainly know this.
Of course we do. That is why we're going to free him. To that end, we will shatter the one remaining obstacle in our way, the statute of limitations. You fled to Zhengfa for 3 years, and Jeffrey Master was being tried as an accomplice for 1 year. Put it all together, we see that the total time limit for this case is 19 years. In other words, the statute of limitations is not over for you yet.
The goddess of law is unerring in her judgments. However, it seems that the prosecutor at the time was not. I cannot believe it, but it seems like the case will have to be reopened.
This is absurd! You cannot arrest me!
For the last 18 years, an innocent man has suffered greatly in your stead. Mr. Gustavia, it's now time for you to atone for your crimes.
No! It finally earned my place as the greatest confectioner in the world! To achieve that goal, I cast everything aside, even my own son.
What a shame. You can't run from your crimes any longer.
No. No! No! Ah!
Oh my god, DGS! Oh my god.
Oh my god, it's me! Gustavia has been taken into custody, sir!
Yeah, so, you're up next, right? Yes, I understand. Found a nightly analysis in AO3. This goes so hard, getting insight on him I did not have before. All I know is that he just loves chess.
Kate.
Everyone, I'm truly sorry for all the trouble I've caused. And thank you very much for catching Monsieur Gustavia.
What you did cannot be overlooked. even if the crimes you committed were in response to a past injustice. As a prosecutor, I am terribly sorry for what happened.
No, I'm only getting what I deserve, since I was the cause of all this.
Kate, we have me as your attorney. I'm not quite the same useless kid I was 18 years ago. I won't let them find you guilty.
Oh, look at her! Oh, Muncher Shields. Yes, thank you so much. Oh, look at her! Oh.
Oh, sorry to interrupt, but it's time to go.
Yes, all right.
Ah, little bow. Gustavia sacrificing everything for his goal, just like Simon sacrificed everything he had left for revenge. Oh my god, he's following in his dad's footsteps. The proposal scene.
Judge Courtney, I can't help but feel that you've been dishonest with me.
It's like that one scene in DGS, you're going to have to say, I do, to whatever question is asked. Dishonest? Whatever do you mean?
You said that the verdict could not be overturned, but that was not the case. A reinvestigation and retrial were obviously required as soon as the missing body was found.
I have no need to answer you.
It seems she doesn't intend to ever give me an answer.
Prosecutor Edgeworth, the PIC has you in its sights. We're going to cancel you for all the problematic things you've been saying. They will receive a report on everything you did here today, and you will most likely be required to appear before them. She's so cute. And then they got married. They did. Ray and Catherine. Catherine is the only person that'll let Ray say, like, hey, Katie Pie. Because they're lovely. Now then, I shall take my leave. Hold on, Mr. Edgeworth caught the real bad guy. Didn't he do his job as a prosecutor?
No matter how things turn out, I will never regret what I did here today.
Mr. Edgeworth? Hey, Prosecutor Edgeworth!
What is it?
Why are you always sticking your nose into cases that you're not even involved with?
My duty is to reveal the truth.
What, PIC after Mars told a woman to kill herself? Oh my god, yeah, that's what it's for. Oh my god. We were watching through the trial of Juan Corda. Juan Corda's murder, and we realized that you told Adrian Andrews to kill herself. This won't do, Edgeworth. We're going to have to cancel you for this. Oh, that's so good.
It was in the past. Listen, I'm a changed man. I tweeted it when I was younger. I didn't have... I'm a changed man.
No, Mr. Edgeworth. You're going to have to be cancelled for this.
Not only as a
They're so cute together. They are. I love Kate and Ray.
Not only as a prosecutor, it's just who I am.
I don't get it.
As long as you continue to think that being the best is all that matters, I doubt you ever will.
Well, I don't get that either. I'm going home. Bye, Sebby. Oh, what was that all about?
There's much he still needs to learn.
Huh? Miley!
What is it?
I knew Greggy's son could do it. I think. I might be falling for you.
You're weird.
Thanks for helping, Jeffy.
Well,
Yo, Edgy! Great job solving that case! Well, I was busy drawing, so I really didn't catch all of it. I knew it was just drawing, you fucker. Huh? Where did Katie and Jessie run off to? Neither of them are into you, Larry. Maurice, you really weren't paying much attention at all, were you?
Well, I hate to admit it, but Larry's doodles actually helped us out a few times. I should say something nice to him.
Don't glare at me like that, I'm sorry!
It was not my intent to glare at you. That patented Edgeworth glare. You're just like your old man. Is that so? Well then. Uncle Ray's gonna go pay Mr. Master a visit. You guys wanna tag along? I'd be happy to accompany you.
Oh, he has to ask... he has to ask Jeff for his permission. It's a traditional thing, I think. Since they're not woke, they have to ask for Jeff's permission. For his hand in marriage for Catherine. Oh, me too! Ray's like, listen, I've proposed. I gotta talk to her dad, okay? It's tradition. We all hate the woke PIC here. We love tradition and conservative values. Like hating minorities. So, there's Jeffrey Master. What's he like? Oh, he's a really nice and gentle guy. He's still doing his best to make people happy. He actually cooks desserts for the inmates. Nowadays, all the prisoners and guards look forward to snack time at 3 o'clock. Wow, that's nice. I want to eat his desserts too. So, the chocolate cake we saw in the prison the other day. He was the one who made it. Oh, the one that Gumshoe ate. Wait, why didn't we see... We should have seen Jeff. We should have seen Jeff. Also, why is he wearing normal clothes? We should have seen Jeff. At least as a cameo. Oh, Gummy, why are you here?
I heard everybody was coming to visit, so I escorted Mr. Master myself.
Hello, one and all. I'm Jeffrey Master. Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth, at your service.
And I'm Mr. Edgeworth's assistant, Kate Faraday.
Oh, it is a pleasure to meet you all.
Mr. Master, Miles is your old defense attorney, son.
Oh, you mean Mr. Gregory's? Your father's done so much for me, and yet I betrayed his good faith when I made the false confession. I've heard the details from Mr. Shields. Mr. Master, I came here today to tell you everything we've learned about 18 years ago. 18 years ago? Edgeworth, you called Miss Fay a bimbo. The sentence is death. It seems that you've been misogynistic and very insensitive to people's mental health. We're going to have to cancel you for this one, Edgeworth. No, please. I don't want to stand on trial for that. I was younger back then. I was more inexperienced. I don't know what you're talking about. Well, this won't do, Edgeworth. We're going to have to cancel you on Twitter. Kate committed a crime for my sake. Why would you do such a thing? Ms. Hall's been trying to prove your innocence for the past 18 years. She was willing to do whatever it took to save you. Kate, she shouldn't have gone through so much trouble for an old man who let her down. Mr. Master, I don't think you realize just how much Miss Hall cares for you. I have something here that clearly proves the two of you share an unbreakable bond. The sweets? An unbreakable bond? Prove the bond between Jeffrey Master and Catherine Hall. Pretty sure it's the sweets, because we didn't use them for anything. This should give Mr. Master some peace of mind.
Take that!
These chocolates. Did Kate make them? She did. They're really sweet and tasty. She's been making these chocolates for the past 18 years, so that she could give them to you whenever you returned. Kate. This is so cute. I love this game. Fuck. I'm sure they're very, very sweet. Yes, they truly are. Unfortunately, I cannot give them to you now, but
I can hand them over later in secret, Bowl.
it is against the rules, but right now, I don't have the authority to stop him. His badge. Well, you see, Catherine cared for you a lot, because I'm a prosecutor. Thank you very much. Say, you remind me of an old friend. Do you know of a Detective Bad?
Of course I do. Detective Bad is my #1 role model, Bowl.
How uncanny. Talk about fate. He reminds you of Bad? What the fuck are you talking about? Mr. Master, it's looking like we'll be able to get you out soon. I can only apologize that it took 18 years to do so. Raymond, I'm the one who should be apologizing. No, that's not it. What I really should be saying is... thank you, Mr. Master. Now it's my turn to wait for Kate. I'll make her favorite sweets every day until she returns. Please look after her, Raymond. You got it. This is so cute. Oh my god. The IS-7 incident. The case I inherited from my father. The inherited turn above. After 18 long years, it's finally coming to a close.
I think it's because of Bad also sneaking stuff around. That would make sense, yeah. But also, it's just so funny comparing Gumshoe to Bad.
Miles, thanks for today. I'm sorry for leaving that final decision to you. No, I made that decision of my own free will.
Weeping, yeah. Yeah, what are you talking about?
To arrest Gustavia, we had no choice but to use Mr. Master's false charge. To use Mr. Master's false charge, which I was originally supposed to protect him from. The attorney inside of me simply could not do it.
So that's how it was.
But, after this, Uncle Ray's gonna try to clear away that false charge as well. Yes, I understand.
What? But if they find out about the false charge, they won't be able to arrest Mr. Gustavia, right?
That's true. It sure is a contradiction in the law. The way the law is right now, it isn't always completely right.
A contradiction in the law?
Well, who knows what'll happen. The law evolves and grows, just like all of us do. Just like Uncle Ray and Miles have grown up. You know? People in the law both grow. Miles, to fight crime as a prosecutor, or to save people as a defense attorney, I want you to think carefully about how you want to live your life from now on. I will. Well, if you ask Uncle Ray, you'll always be welcome down at the office.
Oh, this is so cute.
Alrighty then, looks like it's time for Uncle Ray to get going. See ya. Next time I see ya, I'll be sure to thank you again. Really though, thanks for today. I wait for a very long time and then I sit still for 2 seconds before leaving a room.
Mr. Shield seemed to be in a bit of a hurry. No, he didn't fucking not. I get what they mean, but like that sprite was so like so long. Like no, he was not in a hurry, Kay. He was chilling.
Indeed. I should be the one thanking him. I was able to face my father's last case because of him.
He will have to choose a path. A prosecutor path. Rolls credits. Yep, this is the end of the game right here.
When I was young, I wanted to become a great defense attorney like my father. However, under Prosecutor Von Karma, I learned the ways of a prosecutor. Thanks to a certain friend, I was able to discover my own path in life. However, right now, there are forces trying to take me off the prosecutor's path.
Roll credits!
Maybe now is the perfect time to think about how I should live my life.
Oh. April 2nd.
Gregory.
Sorry. That's the last time, probably.
I'm sorry that it took so long.
Oh, look. Oh!
It may have taken 18 years. But finally, we've proven Mr. Master's innocence. Miles, your son, helped me with that. The way he fought for the truth. It was just like you, Gregory.
So this is what he meant when he said,
I'll tell that man. I'll tell him what you've been doing. I'll tell him.
He just sits here and talks to Gregory.
It's like, well, your son Miles. Oh, he's been under Von Karma's tutelage. I saw him today. He was a bit of a bitch, if you ask me.
He's saying Foster like it's some evil being preying on his downfall.
The way he fought for the truth. He was just like you, Gregory.
Sorry, I said it was the last time I lied.
I'm still not the kind of attorney you were. But I will forever carry on the convictions I inherited from you. Inherited turnabout you. And if I can...
Oh, they framed it! Oh my god.
Together with him.
Oh, that's so cute. Oh my god. Okay, no, not the end. Oh, that's so cute. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Sorry, I said something. The path I choose is... The end.
There we go. Oh, I was actually rubbing my eyes. I couldn't read that bit that Miles said. Oh my god, that's so cute. I love that case. That was so much fun. I loved that. Oh my god.
Sorry, I have to rub my eyes. I'm like, actually, oh my god, is this Kay? Oh my god, hi Kay. Oh my god, alright, that's gonna do it for today's stream. Oh, that was so lovely. Oh, I really enjoyed that. Oh my god. I thought you'd pull out the Ouija board, yeah. That's how he talks to Gregory. He just pulls out the Ouija board and is just like,
Hey, Gregory. So, about Miles, yeah, I saw him today in the prison. It was pretty wild. Yeah, help with the case. It doesn't seem that bad, honestly.
oh, that was so lovely. Alright, that's gonna do for today. Oh my god. That was so cute. I loved that. Oh my god. Oh, I'm still wiping my eyes. Oh my god. That was really, really cute. I really enjoyed that. Oh my goodness. Oh, that was fantastic. I absolutely loved that case. That was phenomenal. And I checked my calendar yesterday. I can't stream tomorrow or the day after, but the day after that I can stream. That's when we'll be starting case 4. I'll what was I gonna say? I'll try to bang a case. It was so good. I loved that case. Yo, Iris and Michi cameos on screen. Yeah, whoa. What the heck? Oh my god, you're on TV. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. I don't remember what I was gonna say. Had the forgotten turnabout, get it? Yeah, that was so lovely. I absolutely loved that kiss. That was so cute. Oh my god. That's going to do for today. I hope everyone had a wonderful time watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye bye!